your humble servant took the oath of the office and was sworn in as the 24th President of the Republic of Liberia in the presence of most, if not all of you. I sworn that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Liberia. And in this process, I ask the Almighty God to help me to do so to the best of my abilities. And in this is exactly what I intend to do. The Liberian Constitution, which is the supreme law of the Republic, and with which I am intimately familiar, shall be my principal guide for leadership and governance throughout my tenure as President. Without pretending to be a constitutional scholar, expert, or lawyer, I found direction as well as inspiration for studying it. I will humbly advise all of you, honorable ladies and gentlemen, and indeed all Liberians, to study your Constitution well, for I found it to be the most useful, practical guide for those who govern and for those who are governed. My assumption is that not everyone is familiar with the Constitution as they ought to be. I would now beg your indulgence to allow me to make frequent references to it today as I address you. In some instances, I will read extensively from it. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, what is expected of us who have been elected by our people to govern them? What is really expected of those of us who have been entrusted with the responsibility to lead them?
You know, sometimes we gotta go. Time and time waits for no man. So that everything you're about to do today, or do it on tomorrow, do it in readiness, do it with time. And I know together we will be here, staying around, keeping around, and talking about our country. So another day, and so we are back here on another presentation of the conversation here on OKID FM 99.5. I've just come to do the things I love to do. If you don't like what I'm doing, do it without a fight, because I'm not prepared to fight. That's what I'm always sitting right here in this peaceful glass house. Always peaceful, quiet glass house. When you get into a tight place, listen to me. When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, you need to hear this again. When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, till it seems as though you could not hang on a minute longer, never give up then. For that is just the place and time that the tides will turn. I'm not sure you got me right. So let me say this again. When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, till it seems as though you could not hang on a minute longer, never give up. For that is just the place and time that the tides will turn. Good afternoon, Monrovia. Good afternoon, Liberia. Good afternoon, the world. It is always a good time to be back on your radio. Today is the 29th. So it's 5/29/2018. The 5th month, the 29th day. And of course, the year stands at 2018. My name is Smith Toby. And this is the usual voice for the afternoon that is trending and taking you across the world in one piece. It is always a good time to be back here for and on behalf of the team today. Theodosius Red is the lady on camera for those of you viewing us on the social media. And I can tell you for sure, McDonald Shangar is our sound technician. And today he's doing a double dose here. He's also conducting and making sure the generator is on and, of course, generating good power. Giving you the full capacity of transmitting here from our broadcast facility. So you don't throw stone when you're living in a glass house. Keep watching, keep listening, because it's juicy. Juice. You know what juice is? This Tuesday is a sweet Tuesday. It's going to be so sweet with the news. So sweet. Very nice afternoon. You enjoy the information. Of course, we're not going to throw a stone right here, but the information coming up this afternoon, very, very juicy. Yeah, it's like when you eating the cassava leaf cold rice, and, you know, or maybe the palm butter cold rice. You know, coming up at kids, we need to sing one song and say, palm butter red too sweet. You eat it, you want some more. So, you know, when you warm the palm butter rice in the morning, you know, and and you eat that pan butter with rice, cold pan butter rice, or maybe a very nice cassava leaf, and there's a leftover, and maybe you decide to give it a new taste in the morning. You know how it tastes, right? It even tastes better than when it's prepared for the first day. So that's how the news coming today will be. It's gonna taste very nice for you. I can assure you. 1 inch of your radio you wouldn't want to miss, because I'm loaded and I'm filled with the information. I'm going to go with time chasing me in here. to give you a lot of it. Some of it you'll be very surprised to hear what's going on in the country. You know, this small country of ours is so back with a lot of news. And if you take your time to go after it and analyze it very well, it is not possible to pass a day without finding something very interesting to talk about here in Liberia. It is always a wonderful thing to do. So I wake up late night, early morning, with technology helping us, researching here and there, just so that our information can be trustworthy. And I'm sure you've given us the space to trust in our information dissemination for you. And every time we come in the way that we will give you what is expected. And even though at times some of you feel so hurt when your friends are being talked about, or when the government that you support and so cherish is being questioned, but let us do it in good faith. We are not talking against the country. We are not speaking war, or we are not advocating violence. We are just writing the checkpoints and bringing to light some of the issues that are affecting our country. And if we continue in that way, I'm not sure the nation is about to pick up the pieces. We've all suffered. We hear people reference the age of our country. I'm not sure they love to do it in the negative tone, but as old as Liberia is, are you proud that even countries that we gave birth are fast developing, and we are lacking and sitting in a position of poverty? But I will tell you some of the unfolding and developments coming up today. Stick and stay with me. Before I even do that, let me acquaint you with the weather report. As always, today is the 29th day, and of course the 5th month is gradually slipping out, so the month of May is bidding us farewell little by little. 2018 is the year, and so today the weather man is reporting for Liberia, West Africa, Monrovia. We are sitting currently, we are mostly clouded at this time of the afternoon here in our country. Sometime this afternoon during the course of the day, running into the early evening hours, you will find the weather sitting at 31 degrees. That will be high, and it's going to get accompanied by thunderstorm in areas sometime on today. Tonight the weather will be sitting at 24 degrees. That will be low for you, and you should expect thunderstorm in area. And of course, on tomorrow morning, you wake up to some sunshine, and there will be thunderstorm as you wake up on tomorrow. So starting your day as it is and taking you to the start as of tomorrow. But let me tell you how is the weather in terms of some of the areas around Moserado County. And this is the capital. And so today in Clay is reporting very hard weather on today. It is not often that Clay in Bombing County report a very high temperature, but they are sitting today at 32 degrees Celsius. Bassa Community, Sincor, Pluncor, Lakbasi, Marshall are all reading 30 degrees. And of course, same with Crown Hill, West Point, Burrowville, and Bensonville. They are all reporting 30 degrees. The city that is reporting a very high temperature in Liberia today is somewhere there in Clay, Bombing County. It's even reporting a very high temperature as we speak right now. One way to go is just 16 minutes past the time of 3 o'clock here on The Conversation. Some of our friends watching us on the social media, before we come to some of the trending development, just trying to recognize you for your effort. I'm watching from Zese Community, perfect. It says here, Nyankwe Nyandohu Yobo. It's following the broadcast. Same, it is Edfa. even if I do not agree with what you have to say, but I will differ to the depth of the right to say it. Okay, I will differ with the right to say it. Okay, Sam, you got it right. Good afternoon, Smith. I'm following the broadcast from Freeport. Hi, good friend, Mr. Toby. Hope you are doing well. I like your show. Thank you very much, Sam, as well. Michael Think Positive Bender says, yeah, I'm following. I'm feeling so much excitement from you this afternoon, Smith. Is there any secret? Listen, you'll get to know if there's a secret in the excitement. Maybe I had a good lunch as compared to yesterday, but I'm doing pretty well right now. I'm sitting tight here. You know, when I'm loaded with information, the excitement comes out its own way. The CDC through all the both. Okay, I'm not getting this Jonathan Woodgate. I'm not getting the text very well. Brighton, New Jersey, George Talawudi is following the broadcast. Hi, Smith. I'm viewing you guys from South Korea. Makula Nampa Gaston San saying that one. Ruben, how you doing? I'm sure you're following. Patrick Woodson says, yeah, good afternoon, Smith. I'm following the conversation live from Fender campus. Good to be there. Watching you from Cape Town, South Africa. Boro Frederick Mantona Amos says that one. Moses Quadra says, yeah, I'm following the show. Thomas B. Seku Senior says, yeah, watching from Millennium College account Liberia office. He says, yeah, just another day. So it is just another day. Watching from Nizo community. Good day, Liberia. How are you? And so Walker Sam J. Flores says, yeah, thanks, Smith, for always informing us. And I'm following you from the Capitol building. I see a lot of friends and viewers on the social media. Let me acknowledge all of the friends viewing the show. And to you listening to us via radio, we want to acknowledge your time with us right on the conversation on today. Okay, folks, after welcoming all of you to the show, it's time for you to sit attentively and listen to what's happening around Africa. And then we will drop to our own setting here in Liberia. So let me start today with some of the trending news coming out of Africa around the continent. We want to start up with this development coming out of Ethiopia because the information here is that they are now allowing Africans to visit that country without visa very soon. That was a statement coming out of the country by the Prime Minister of that country. And so it says here, Ethiopian Prime Minister has revealed that the country will very soon follow Rwanda's example of allowing all Africans to travel to that country without visa. And I think this is a very welcoming development. The policy would open up the East African country to African visitors and will undoubtedly ease the free movement of African nations or nationals and boost tourism in that country. The Prime Minister revealed that the country will very soon follow Rwanda's example, allowing all African to travel without visa. The plan was revealed during a state banquet. I'm told it was hosted by the Prime Minister for Rwanda President Paul Kagame, who visited that country, who is in Ethiopia for a 3-day official visit. The two leaders had bilateral talks at the National Palace in Addis Ababa. That's what we've been following here, and made a commitment to strengthen relationship in key sectors, which include defense and air services. A beautiful one for Africa. The Prime Minister did not give specific detail of the plan to allow all Africans to travel to Ethiopia. That's what the news outlet that is reporting without visa. The proposal is laudable, and it is a laudable step to open Africa's border. The policy will open up the Eastern African country to African visitor. And a good news, President Kagame is a freedom fighter, a great gift for the people of Rwanda and for the continent. After fighting for freedom, it is difficult to establish institutions. And but when you go to Rwanda, you can see how his leadership has changed that country. What a way to accept it, and what a way to go. Congratulations to the two presidents holding that discussion. Remember, the AU has been working on this issue of 30 days upon arrival visa to other members of African countries. But there's one development coming out of Mozambique that I can share with you quickly, that at least 10 people, I'm told, and been reported on world or international media outlet, that 10 people has been beheaded in northern Mozambique by suspected Islamic militant, officials says. And a very troubling development. Children are reported to be among those targeted in the attack on Mojend village in Cabo Dagundu province, a hub for mining and petroleum exploration. Very sad development coming out of Mozambique on that one. An Islamic militant group has carried out sporadic attacks in the region in the last year, and it is believed to be making millions of dollars from selling timber and rubbles, and known locally as Al-Shabaab. The group was formed in 2015 as a religious organization and has no knowing link to the Islamic jihadist group of the same name. And so one of the victims of the weekend attack was the leader of Manjan village. A local resident told the AFP that's been reporting this story. They targeted the chief as he had been providing information to the police about the location of Al-Shabaab in the forest. A development for you, just trending some of the news coming up out of Africa. Yesterday we were informing you about Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian superstar, African Player of the Year. His development is taking another trend. It's been reported in the media around the world today that an Egyptian lawyer has filed a $1 billion lawsuit against Real Madrid star Sergio Ramos after injuring Mohamed Salah in Champions League final. Mohamed Salah suffered a shoulder injury in Saturday Champions League final. It came after the tussle for the ball between the Liverpool star and Sergio Ramos. Salah faces a race against time to be fit for Egypt's first World Cup match. That development is trending on social media as we speak on today. The fallout from Mohamed Salah Champions League funded ending shoulder injury has continued back in his homeland, Egypt. So there's this discussion about it. So an Egyptian lawyer has claimed on the national television in Egypt, and he's launched a $1 billion, something around 837.725 million lawsuit against Sergio Ramos. His name is Basim Wabab. Is suing the Real Madrid captain for his challenge on Salah in Kiev. And of course, the physical and psychological harm it has caused the people of Egypt. So he's preparing a lawsuit. He's going to sue Real Madrid and their captain. Mohamed Salah suffered a shoulder problem during the tussle with Sergio Ramos. So that's a very trending development taking place in Egypt. It's all on their media outlet as they discuss the issue. let's give a big hand clap to the trending news around Africa. Let's come down to Liberia, where you got all ears and wanting to know what's going on in our country. 27 minutes, make it time check after 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock, I got a guest coming in, 4:15 by the way. And 5:15, there's another discussant that will be coming in from the National Legislature. But with time in between time, let's get talking here in Liberia, because I'm receiving a report from the Liberia National Police. And that report says the police said on yesterday that they've arrested a Nigerian national for allegedly counterfeiting and selling into the Liberian market counterfeit United States dollars in the tune of 237,300. All of the denomination of that money is in the 50 bill. How come we got people into our market with very huge counterfeit? So the police said they arrested suspect Amos John Aderi, who said he runs the Testimony Church of God in Duazon. So the man who's running a church in Duazon, Lower Mangibit County, was arrested on the 25th of... the last few days ago, I visited the office of one of the police chief, and I saw the 50 bills, and there was so many, and the guys told me that money was counterfeit. And I was I was so surprised to see it. And so they had a press conference to talk about it on yesterday. His arrest followed the tracing of a fake 3,600 that the police found with his son, a friend of his son. Too bad. And so the police chief on yesterday had a press conference. Police Inspector General Patrick Sudu said preliminary investigation showed that the culprit from February 27 has been sneaking the false currency into the economy of Liberia, in the economy from a hold of 250,000 transfer to him dubiously, remitting to him from a friend in Nigeria. So the money came into the country from Nigeria. The police displayed some of the money on yesterday, and the one they displayed was around 12,700 of that counterfeit money. 12,700 of the fake currency. The police displayed that money yesterday during the press conference. The police inspector general said there might be a syndicate involved in the black money business. Black money business is no child play. So, and the police said they will dig deeper in tracing the source of the money. They ought to do this because it is scaring to see our country, even though there's a very tight economy, but for someone to come here and infuse 237,300 of counterfeit money all in 50 bills in our economy or in our country, that is something serious. We need to shine our eyes on that one. So that's why the police inspector general urged the public and business people to counter-check banknotes that they receive in transaction. The police boss also further revealed that such crime has hurt the Liberian economy and could be one of the factors responsible for the skyrocketing exchange rate of the US dollar. That's his assumption against the Liberian dollar. He added that the police would adopt new security and screening measures at the official entry point of the country in search of fake monies being smuggled in by unscrupulous person. Okay, so congratulations to the Liberia National Police for that arrest, and of course that very, very, very huge amount of money. They talked about that on yesterday. I've seen that money, and it's when you see the 50 bucks, until someone tell you say it is counterfeit, you go up. For me, I don't know which one, how to know the difference. Only those who understand that terrain will tell you, but it's a very, very serious thing. So the police said they are investigating. They are going to go after that. I told you this afternoon is a very juicy afternoon, so you ought to keep listening. So I want to raise a point here. Yesterday I decided not to talk about the vice president comments over the weekend in Banga, Bond County. But you know, when you want to talk about something and even you decide not to talk about it, and you go home and you sleep over it and it still bother you, that means there's something about it that you have to speak it out. So I didn't feel, you know, my feeling for it yesterday, I'm sure I didn't do very well on that one. So I decided to throw a little light on the Vice President, Her Excellency Joe Howard Taylor, in her recent comments. And that will be one of my point of discussion with my guest from the civil service. I'm sure he's the president. He's going to be here at 4 o'clock, 4:15. We'll start a discussion because it's very key. And I'm looking at the point of the Vice President and her biblical quotation. So I was driving to work this morning and then something ran to my mind and I said, okay, let me hear what the Vice President said in her biblical reference. So she said, the Bible said, can two people walk together without agreeing on the direction? And she said to the people of Bond County, for us to agree, we're going to be on the same side. So if you think you cannot make it, tell us. We will find somebody else to replace you. So I said, oh, so two people will only work together when they agreed, isn't it? So I started to think about, so this Vice President of ours is telling us that even with all of the criticism against her former husband or whatever name that you still carry, did they agree before they work together then? So how is it? So when two agree, then they work together, isn't it? Based on what the Vice President said to Bond County people, to the chiefs of that county, the reference of the Bible. Can two work together? Can two people work together without agreeing on the direction? So you agreed on the direction, so you walk as a team. So it'll be very sweet. Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. And that's what she said. So, Madam President, this is not going to help you in any way. For me, I just want you to know that as 4:15. So I just want you to know, you know, I'm not sure. Yes, she's 100% right. Yes, I agree that she's 100% right. So people got to agree before they work together, right? I'm not saying that's wrong, but the Bible says that as well. So that's why she even quoted the Bible. So they asked the chief to only report to the superintendent of the county, or she's equally said to the people of the county. There's one lawmaker that the people, her purported lawmaker, of course, who I'm not sure in his own way is independently independent, if there is anything like that, anything on his own without the direction of the vice president, because I'm sure he's the making of the vice president. And so if the county is made out of other lawmakers, and to tell the chiefs to report to the superintendent or to the lawmaker that she preferred or referred to, and leaving out even the deputy speaker is from that same county. So by not listening to them as other lawmakers of the county, it's going to sow the seed or division in the county. I know Mervyn Cole very well, a good old friend before becoming lawmaker. Now he's Honorable Mervyn Cole. A divided Bond County will not hold. There is this discussion of dividing the county already, and to see the second person in the land wanting to split the county, and even lawmakers searching about that. This is going to seriously undermine the unity of the county. The possibility of the vice president to be the decision maker as it stands So if you tell a lawmaker to dismiss a commissioner, I'm not sure it is the work of the lawmaker to dismiss a commissioner. Can the lawmaker dismiss a commissioner? Then what becomes of the power of the Ministry of Internal Affairs then? Is that part of his function, by the way? But I'm sure there's a lot more surrounding this. So I know, Madam Vice President, you and your former husband or your husband agree. That's why you work together. I mean, I just want to be clear on this one. So when people agree, so they work together. So when people commit crime, so they commit the crime together because they agree together. I'm awaiting your arrival. I still got something to tell you, but I will wait. Now you're in Asia, Israel. You were talking on yesterday. I saw one video, 2 minutes, 30 seconds clip of your women discussion. So meaning all the crime charges that are committed, she associated with it, right? Because they agreed to walk in one direction. So when people look, when you put a biblical reference to something, and people can go further to check your own connection. So yeah. Okay, so we'll wait. We'll be taking it little by little until there's the entry of the vice president back in the country. I'm sure the president is traveling sometime, I'm told sometime soon, and before the president travels, the vice president will be here. That start of vice president out of the country and president out of the country at the same time, I'm told it's been handled. So the vice president will be back in the country soon because there's a schedule for the president to travel out of the country. I'm looking for, where's my producer? I'm looking for the man who gave the plane to the president, who finally broken silent about this. Is that clarification or his interview he gave to the women? Is that Democracy Radio or one Democracy Radio there in Senegal? But now we've waken up to a morning hearing the name of Muhammadu Bokongu. That name, we'll all call it the way we understand it, yeah? But he's Muhammadu Bokongu, the friend of presidents. So the gentleman is not just the friend of President George Manawiya, he is the friend of presidents. The success of his construction company, Bournemouth, has allowed its founder to forge close ties with many heads of states in West Africa with a solid address book. So he got a lot of African leaders in his address book. The Burkinabe boss, he's been very active in his activities. And when I got the name last night, I thought to research him and to let you know that Muhammadu Bokongu found himself at the center of attention. In 2016, the Burkinabe businessman was in all directions one of the donors of the campaign of Leonor Zassu to the presidency of Benin. So there was one gentleman who wanted to be president in Benin, and this Muhammadu Bokongu fellow also helped him in his campaign in 2016. 2 years have passed, I'm told, and since I've started reading this information about him, the multiple acknowledgement of the former candidate, the contractor has still yet been able to get his read from. So he support people in the quest that when they win the election, there's something he go after. So when he supported the campaign of Lionel Zazu of Benin, Lionel did not win the election. And so he went after him for refund of the money for the campaign that he supported. The sum of that money was somewhere around 22 million euro. This confirmed its close ties with a number of African political leaders, but especially at the end of 2017, the Burkina Faso Minister of Economic, Rosine Sori Koulibaly, authorized by a decree of modification of the shareholder of Boutique de l'Habitat de Burkina Faso, is BHBF, Mohamedou Bokungu. He was then 51 years old just in 2017, so he should be hovering around 52. Then took possession along a small holder of some 51%. So he's involved in a lot. So let me not take all of the time, but I just want you to know his position. Reading through his information here for me today. Do you know that Mr. Bokungu Mohamedou was in the country during the inauguration of President George Weah? He was here. He came here, and he was part of the hundreds of friends that came to witness the inauguration of the president of the country. His role as a priority in Liberia. Let me tell you his interest in Liberia. His interest in the country. His interest in the country. Explaining his desire to develop his new activities this year. So this year is 2018. So he's been explaining his desire and his new activities this year. He does not turn his bike on road work. So he's a road master. He's been building roads around Africa. He's good for road contracts. He goes for big contracts on road development. So he never turned his bike, which remained his favorite sector. So road is the favorite sector of Mohamedou Bokungu, whatever way we call it. Let us understand it like that, yeah? The man who still refuses to give the turnover of his group will hold access to his area in Portugal. So he's not just sitting in Burkina Faso, he's also in Portugal. And he said, do you know that they are currently in Liberia, prospecting in Liberia? So I heard my colleague say this morning that they got a group already in the country that they are prospecting in this country. That one you go on the main page is written there, and I didn't create this thing that I'm saying. So go and read. It's written in black and white. It's in French. So if you just look for the English and translation, everything about him on his page is in French, but you can find the English translation there. So he said they are currently in Liberia and they are prospecting in Liberia, said the businessman. We took part in the inauguration. He even admitted that they came here and they took part in the inauguration of Liberia President George Weah on the 22nd in Monrovia. So he's a good friend to the president, but he got interest in the country. But this guy, he's not just an ordinary guy. Just reading about him today. He got a very nice success story. In a sector where large African companies are real, the founder of Ibufmith, the company name, has offered an alternative to Western and Chinese companies. So he's in Africa, so he's doing road in Africa. He got a company that is also interested in doing roads. So he's now almost like an alternative to Chinese companies that build roads around Africa. So if you want to do a road project and the Chinese will not do it good for you, you can look for this guy. He's a friend to many presidents in Africa. As evident by the market of 176 billion CFA money, CFA franc they call it, won in Benin at the end of 2016. In 2015, his company, the same company that is owned by Mohamedou, has already gained a foothold in the Ivorian market. So he got a base in Benin because he's in the market in Benin. He's also the part of the market in Africa with the contract for the rehabilitation of the this other French word here is so high. But he's doing some road, some road there, a rehabilitation of some road in the Africas, in the northern part of Africa. His company is doing a road project there. Because he's been friend to the presidents of those countries. He's helped them come to power thanks to its strong network. Mohamedou Bokongo also finalized a public-private partnership with the banking pool manager. So go there and read about it. Of financing something that is over 83 billion CFA franc. Let me tell you, in addition to his 60 road projects, he got 60. He's also the part of the transport sector. So he got 60 road projects. He also owned an Airbus business. Not an Airbus, but an agro bus or agro business. They call it agro business. He's in the bank. He's a businessman. He also invested in air transport sector. So he's an investment in air transport. For example, in Ouagadougou, in 2011, there's a company in Ouagadougou called the Laser Transport International. That company is owned by Mohamedou Bokongo. He owns 6 aircraft. So he got 6 planes, 6 aircraft, including an Airbus. He also owned the Airbus A3118, a Falcon 7X, and a Falcon 900, chartered by mining clients, businessmen, and government are due for maintaining an address book already well supplied. So he haven't given any president or any African leader a gift for nothing. He's a master of rules, and he goes after things he gave leaders. His team is in the country. They are prospecting. But folks, I want us to take a few minutes of our time and listen to what he said. Can I get that? Can I get that voice somewhere so that we can listen to this? Because I'm trying to understand if he loaned during the campaign of President George Weah, whether the plane given to the president was loaned or it was given free. But I think I heard him said that he loaned the plane. He loaned the plane, or was it borrowed, or was it loaned? I just wanted to catch something together. I got some more information. It's a very rich afternoon here. I beg you, no need to stop your afternoon right on. Sorry for this one.
The plane was made available just for a while.
The plane is no longer with him. He had 2 trips to make, so we put it at his disposal so he could make them for free. After his journey, the plane left for other destinations.
The news is causing a lot of controversy in Liberia. People believe that Mr. Bokongo, who is known for building roads in the West African sub-region, has made the aircraft available to benefit from certain favors later.
Mr. Bonkungu does not need planes to build roads. Building roads is the main activity of the Ebomaf group, and it has nothing to do with the friendship between President George Weah and us.
Mr. Bokongo, does that mean that in the future you would lend this plane to President Weah for his travels?
Mr. George Weah is a model for Africa, and whether by the means of a plane or by other means, provided we have them, we will support the actions of President George Weah in Liberia. And besides, our friendship is not new. It goes as far back as well before he was president, and he can count on the support of the Ebomaf group and mine.
Before George Weah was president, you lent him some of your planes for his travels too?
The plane was loaned several times to President George Weah before he became president.
Okay, so that's the part. I'm not talking about your current plane, Mr. President. That one, he said, you got the clarity on that one. Let me get something going right here. But the one news during the campaign was loan. Did you hear that at the end of that conversation? So it is not the current one, but the one that we saw the president traveled a lot during the campaign. So there was this private jet coming in to pick up the president. He was traveling here and there. And I heard him say, yes, that one was loaned to the president during the campaign. Folks, we are training to get right on the conversation. Please answer the Lone Star number when you open the lines. Okay, what do you don't answer our Lone Star numbers here? Okay, folks, so that is your information for all of the discussion surrounding the this talk about the plane, just so that you know that the businessman having given any free gift or free thing to any African leader that he supported. He's always gone after this interest. So he's done that to Benin, he's done that to Africos, he supported his friends, and because he's a master of rules, so he go after projects. And currently in the country, there's a team representing that company here, I'm told, and they are currently prospecting our country to see what they can in turn benefit. That discussion, we will keep our eyes on the name of this company. When there's something about this company that is going to come in any section, we ought to look at it thoroughly. Because a close friend to the president, who's helping with his campaign, who's given him private jet to fly and returned free of charge and loan at a certain point in time, is also interested in the country. If you go on his page, he's written his interest, and he said his team is in the country and they are currently doing some work here. They're checking. He was here during the inauguration of the president, and so go and find the information needed for you and read about this young man. Okay, folks, I got 5 minutes, so at 4:15 we'll get on talking. Mr. George Kalando, you have to hold the line a little bit. We'll talk. The lines will be open in 10 minutes. I still got some issue here that I want to raise. I see your calls coming in. But I said the afternoon is indeed juicy with the news. So, today, where's my other information sheet? Who's taking something? You know, I go research all the things and put it down. Okay, so some people in our country are looking for noise. And we ought to start talking about this now, or else we will wake up one morning and we'll hear something that will surprise us. You know, the reason why our country looks the way it is because we are not sincere to ourselves. and our leaders are not living by the examples. People in this country, our leaders that profess to be people that love the country, some of them are just greedy people. Greedy. They want everything. They want to take everything. And that's the reason why 68 concession agreements signed here, 98.5% of that agreement were considered to be bogus. Because instead of people doing due diligence to concession paper, the first thing they put in front when they hear the amount that will accompany the concession agreement is their share of the money. So if there's a money coming for the contract or a concession agreement in our country, and it is to develop the people that you are representing, the district that is difficult to reach by road, that is going to help you to gain more relevance, that will put cloud around you, that will boost your morale, that you will drive in your vehicle and your shackles overs and your maintenance of vehicle will last longer. That even building schools and building hospitals will be good and our country will grow. But every time there is some money into our country for concession, or there's a concession company coming into the country, the first thing we hear from our lawmakers allegedly is they want 10% of the money. That happened for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time. That woman suffered with that thing here, this brown envelope business. We talked about it, so that allegation never goes to bed. That's why people get excited to go to the national legislature. I feel people want to go to serve the people. But if people will want to go to the national legislature because there will be concession coming and you get your 10%, that's killing the country. Now I'm hearing, and this source of mine is reliable, the lawmakers are asking for 400,000 each. From this 536, I know what that we are all still arguing about. We say the poor money. Some people say the money not good, but the same money we're talking about that is coming for roads. Some people already started grumbling that they want 10% of the money before they pass this agreement. If some of our lawmakers will put on that attitude, the same people who were sitting on the other side of the fence and criticizing the 53rd, they're taking brown envelope, they're compromising concession. This is the first concession that is going their way. And what we are hearing now, they want 10% before they pass it. If we give each lawmaker in that building 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, we will be spending almost all of the money. Then what? Where will the money go and what will that money develop? Then we'll sit here and say we love our people. If you are asking for 10% in this information, we are not biting our tongue on this one. The same way you people want us to be talking to the executive when there is something surrounding the presidency, we should talk about it. If we start to hear things about the 54th, allegedly that you are asking for 10% before you sign the agreement, at what point you want this country to develop? That's how people did not do due diligence to concession agreements in the past administration. They were going after the money. Now you want to hold that document hostage. You gave her our own money. At what point the money become your own of money when the money is in the country, is for the country, is to develop the country, is to build roads, is to connect you to your people in your towns, your villages. But the first thing that is running through your head right now, some of the lawmakers in there, allegedly, is that you want 10% of the money. That would be 400,000, those who know the math. Where are we going with this country? The first thing the people trying to arrange the deal, some people in there say, oh, the money, you know, the money here, oh, the money this, oh, the money laundry, oh, the BM money, oh, what kind of group here? So you criticizing the money, but you negotiating your portion of the money. that's killing the country. This place you profess to love. You want to see Claratown fixed. You want to see road go to Bogonjide. You want to see road goes to Lufa. You want to see romantic roads here. Why are we still driving on a 1-lane road and we say we're driving on a 2-lane road here? Because people, we've gotten news to dividing the money and not putting it in its proper news. And that is what is about to happen again. We are hearing from some of your friends that you are making demand. They are in there and they are saying it to us. And we would not sit here in this age and time to allow certain people to benefit at the detriment of the majority of the people. This is one country, one Liberia. Everyone will support the whole country, then we put it on the executive. You tell your own 10%, you say that you eat it. The project comes and it goes nowhere. But the money came, or we heard about the money. But the implementation of the project failed. At the end of the day, who takes the blame? Or put everything on the executive because you say they are the one responsible to implement. How will they implement when you've taken half of the money as per your share? Where are you carrying the share, by the way? You're not building roads with it. You say that's not your work. You're not building school. You say that's not your work. But you put everything on implementation with the executive. But you subdue the executive to the extent that they will compromise. They will take some of the same money that they should be using to build the country and give it to people for individual news. And we leave the country just the way it is. And we sit here, we say we will develop this country. We have been cruel to ourselves. We have been cruel. Look, we are acting wicked to the country. And this news about some lawmakers asking for 10%, we will start to follow this information to the letter, because this is coming from inside. It's not coming from street peddlers. People in your midst. Discussion you are holding. And you know you're going to record one another, right? So we'll soon start playing some of you audios. Like you were asking for zinc. One of the group of lawmakers here, when they went to move Edwin Snow, they were taking money to say Obama zinc within 1 year. We'll start playing your audio discussing evil about this country. That's been very, very wicked. If you're asking for 10%, what is the love you got for the country? Now I'm hearing you want to bring noise in the national legislature. You want to impeach the president. Some lawmakers, surprisingly last night, somebody called me and started to tell me that we are preparing impeachment proceeding against the president. Are you kidding me? What for was the question I asked. And Constitution, and this one here, Moppe. I want a pure movie. So the star that used to news against President Ellen Johnson said if she was a female, and so sometimes she used to be very afraid when they want something and they do that Gia Mura kind of thing, and the president will submit. Then the president submit. Now I'm hearing, we want to impeach the president. We are preparing impeachment proceeding. If that will be the compromise, President Weah will give you people some of their money. Then we'll all talk about it. I will go there and say I'm a Liberian. You give my own money too. Say you just divide the money. I will face the road going to my house. My friend will take your own and face the road going to his house. So let's divide the money. I'll decide what to do with my own money. Send one person want their own, and y'all say we'll do this to the president or do that to the president. So y'all just, Mr. President, bring the money, put us in line. Put one line on Sports Commission, put one to Broad Street, put one to anywhere, and put the money in bag. We walk there individually and take it and do what we want to do with it. But if any lawmaker succeed in getting a dime from that money because they want to do something, we'll demand for our own money. Because that is not love to the country. When we will be sympathetic, we say corruption, corruption, corruption. We'll talk about it, we'll sing song. They put it all in music. Still, people are not sincere to this country. They are killing the country. They are killing the country. And we will keep our eyes on it day and night. I'm going to start following that development from the Capitol building as of last night and up to today's date. And now you want to hold it. You want to make demands. I got a lot of good friends in there. I'm not castigating. I'm not calling your names here. But that allegation, that news that we are hearing from some of your friends in there that you are discussing and saying, gentlemen, it in here, they get our 10%, they pass it in here. Look, do due diligence to that document, scrutinize it properly, and let it go in the interest of the Liberian people, period. It should not be about your personal interest or about you as an individual. That is becoming a situation that about to happen on Capitol Hill. Now you say you want to impeach the president. You're preparing document. You're trying to put violation here, violation there, violation here, violation there, and we'll put all the document on the floor and we'll turn to a discussion. Then Buffer Chimba will be speaker. He will be scary because if a CDC man, you say, gentlemen, anything you know what I mean? Let it be so, let it be so. Okay. So this. That would not work. That will not work. Nobody's paying me to say this. But I'm saying this from my heart because I feel hurt about this. Okay, folks. So let me also tell you that the president finally submitted the letter to the national from the National Elections Commission to the national legislature on today, received by Speaker Buffer Chimba, and we are expected that the new date for the senatorial by-election should be not later than the 31st of July. That is my information upon that letter that the president sent today from the National Elections Commission. And so we are expecting that the national legislature will act on that communication. The president is requesting that a new date be set, and that date should not be not later than the 31st of July. Let's see how that will turn out at the end of the day. But kudos that we are making progress. Some lawmakers, not lawmakers, but some people are opting that we cancel the election, but I'm sure constitutionally we already passed that time. And so we will be looking to see how the national legislature will act based on the president's request on today. There's one good news for a family, and let me just go to that quickly before we start to take your calls. Then I will bring in my guests. Don't worry, we'll take you shortly. Today, the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, live up to her promise and her responsibility to a foreign soldier. You are in the know that one of the soldiers of Liberia lost his life in Mali on duty. The late PFC Ansu Asumani Sharif of the Armed Forces of Liberia. His family today, that includes his wife. Her name is Fatima Sharif. Fatumata is the daughter, and the uncle today received 70. Listen, I say 70. Today they received 70,000 United States dollars. They received that money in check. Written on that check was 70,000 United States dollars. I'm told they've been receiving monies since the passing of that soldier on duty. But the 70,000 they received today represent the final payment and final benefit of the soldier. 70,000 United States dollars was received today by the family. That check was received by his wife. His daughter was there. The uncle spoke on behalf of the family. And of course, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Major General Prince C. Johnson III, presented that check, 70,000 bucks to the family. And the reason why they are emphasizing that it is his founder benefit or his founder money is, we have heard problem here with widows sitting on the street and protesting for husbands or deceased husbands' benefit. So they made it clear that the government of Liberia, the armed forces of Liberia, owed this family no more dime. They given them the final portion of his benefit, 70,000 up front. The last money today was 70,000 US dollars. They gave it to the family. Take it, that's a husband, and last money here, you can decide whether you make business or you divide it in the family, or you send a daughter to school, or you buy new clothes as a wife. Anything you want to do, uncle, daughter, and widow, this is the check, 70,000. They took it, they gave it to them today. The Liberian men say, kolo. They took that money and it's in their possession. I want to say kudos to the government through the armed forces of Liberia for living up to that commitment. I'm told that he's supposed to receive one honor. The army have said they will receive it on his behalf and they will present that certificate to the family in due course. So that is a good news. And the final news before we go to the lines. You see how the country packed with news? News can fit in the country. Yeah. So Nokai. Now the president is keeping his eyes on something, right? There is an independent committee that should be constituted to probe why Nokai financing affairs and Nokai foreign affairs and the legal department and other agencies of government have no document on the transaction at Nokai. You know, the committee reported to the president, right? The committee that the president set up, that 5-member committee. In the committee report, there is one lawmaker name that is in that report. I can tell you that one for fact. There is one lawmaker name that is in that report. So the president communicated to the lawmaking body today, and he told them to investigate the lawmaker name that is in the report about Nokai. They're going to do a forensic audit of Nokai before the new leadership is constituted. Representative Adolph Lawrence name surfaced in the recommendation of the committee. Take it to the bank. Representative Adolph Lawrence and other associates of Nokai who received the money. The recommendation, I'm told, I've said they should restitute the money or they will be charged and prosecuted. So that Nokai thing what we're talking, we're thinking that we're just playing funny and talking about it on the surface. The president is getting strong on this one. So there are others named in the report. So the agency or the institution they belong to, the president have already communicated to those agencies. He's communicated to the lawmakers and told them your Adolph Lawrence name came in the report. That the portion you sent to them. And if the recommendation said they should restitute the money that they took, that oil money that people are acting with big ball way in the country, they should restitute the money. That's what the committee recommended. If they fail to restitute that money, they will be charged and they will be prosecuted. That is in the recommendation. I'm looking for the rest of the names that came out of that report. But clear to the point is that Representative Adolph Lawrence's name came out of the committee work, and the recommendation says they should restitute the money or they will be charged and be prosecuted. That Nokai money will now go in the breeze. Folks, let me take just a few calls quickly. That will bring in my guest. He's been waiting for the lawyer a long time. I'm talking, right? Wow. Been talking very long here, so the news never ceases to end. But this is the conversation, OK FM 99.5. Call me, my name is Smith Toby. Let's get talking on 0777700995 08809399395. My guests can come in, by the way, so we can just conclude the calls together. Call out on this line. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to you. Time is running out. Hello, yeah? Oh, you holding this line? Okay, sorry. Hello?
Good afternoon, Smith.
You show you are prepared to call here. People don't call here with feedback.
Yeah, good Smith.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fast my receiver. Yeah, this is Pathway. And I called from the ground capital this afternoon.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Smith. As it relates to the loan issue, I know the 10% in question is a complete gossip. It's a rumor. I don't want to take it serious right now.
All right.
But I'm asking the legislature to revisit those loan agreements because I understand that they get an agreement that will cause embarrassment for our children in the future because the money that we give to the people, it's not a free money, it's not a cash job. We are going to pay that money back in time.
All right. Thank you, yeah? Thank you. George Calando, you've been waiting on this line all day today. All thing you catch your hat. So let me hear what you want to say. Anthony, George Calando.
Yeah, good afternoon and good afternoon to the local people.
Please go ahead, Georgie.
I just want to take this time to appeal to our people. I think they need to give the president and the government some time. It's too soon for the bickering. We need to all think positive about this country. I mean, let's give him a chance. He has done his best to give the young people of this country the opportunity to stand. But so soon, you know that crab mentality, I see how people want to think. It's like, it's not me. I got to make sure it don't work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's bad. It's really, we need to change our mind. We need to all work to make sure this country moves forward. It's no joke. This is serious.
All right.
You get on social media. I want to take this time to appeal to what is the individual for God. Please focus. Like the things are happening. The incremental price of petroleum products, like we are not responsible for it. This is something based upon the world market. When you go, you just need to go and explain why price of petroleum went up. Instead of you always attacking somebody because they are saying something about the government. You understand? The increment in the exchange rate. 30 people, the United Nations, they withdrawn their staff out of Liberia. Because of that, it has an impact on the economy. You got more Liberians that are chasing the US dollar. Let's think positive and let all of us work together to move this country forward.
Okay.
Instead of we just wanting to backbite, you wake up in the morning, you just want to say the worst thing about the president, you wake up in the morning, you say the worst thing about the vice president, it's not good. It doesn't take all of us nowhere.
All right. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you. We got others on the line. I'm sure I'm running with time right now. My guest is already here. Just one few interaction. Let me take another one. Hello.
Good afternoon, Smith.
How are you?
And good afternoon to the Liberian people.
Please go
My
ahead.
name is Amos Small. And I call from Yamfotan constituency in my 11.
Okay.
Smith, bluntly speaking, the election of some of those lawmakers was a political accident. Okay? Say for an instant, when the president said they're going to slash his salary, okay, to inject it in all our social service development of our people, some of those lawmakers is beginning to see the reduction of their salary. And what we are hearing on this 10% issue, it should not be taken lightly, okay? Because the 53rd legislature, the strive on similar path that you saw that our country was going to develop is some bad concession around here. So if the president would try to combo mass with these people, I can tell you for free, any concession agreement in this country would be against the people of Liberia.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Demas. Let's just go straight to the point. Let me talk to Minister Abubakar Ba, who's joining me right here. Abubakar, thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you very much, Smith Toby, and let me say good afternoon to the listening audience. I listened to your analysis, and you play that very popular audio now in the country with the West Africa Democracy Radio about the plane stuff. I think is very clear. You know, we just taking one, you know, when the guy used loan, and I'm sure it is becoming a problem in Liberia whenever we hear loan, since Access Bank loan is very popular around here. So we just think that it's taking money, you know, for it at an interest rate. But that's just one definition of loan. When you go to the Webster dictionary, you will see it has multiple definitions. I will just give you just two, and you understand that it has nothing to do with money. It is loan. In that context, it was being used. Something lent, usually for the borrower's temporary use. That's one definition. Another definition, a grant of temporary use. And you listen to the gentleman, he said the president used it on 2 occasions, and afterward the plane left and went to other destinations. So let's stop defining a word, you know, just in one way, because, you know, when they say loan in Liberia, we understand in one context. There are lots of definitely. The president that I know is a man with integrity, impeccability, and when he says something, he doesn't like. You know that very well. There was some hard truth the president told the end. Everybody knows it. And so let's reduce the tension in the country. It's very...
All right. Thank you, Abubakar Ba. Thank you very much. I'm sure the press. Let me take 5 more calls quickly, and then we'll speak to the president of the Civil Servant Association. I'm sure that's it. Okay. So he's already here. Hello.
Yeah, Smith, how you doing? Good afternoon. How you doing, Chief?
Well, I'm here, Chief. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you, Smith. This is Charles Sarah Kennedy.
Please go ahead, Charles.
Well, Smith, let me appreciate you for your talking points. You know, you are a very brilliant journalist. You know, Smith, the issue regarding this entire jet issue, like the president provided better clarity, and for us, we don't want to give credence to those people who feel that negative criticism should be the hallmark, you know, of our country. But the key issue here is, you know, our country is a country where group of few, you know, greedy and self-seeking individuals just care for themselves. So the best thing that those individuals that were named in the report that they should replace money, and the sad thing that is Representative Ada Lawrence. You know, it was never a mistake for me to take Ada Lawrence to neck for him to be denied not to contest, because we cannot run like this. There are a lot of our people that cannot afford that daily meal. And you have few group of people feel that these resources belong to them and their family. So we have to bring an end to this kind of economic man.
All right, thank you. Detail of that report will come in our news. So for all of you, just stay with us. Our newscast is coming up this evening at 6:15, so you can chase that development from Capitol Hill. But let me go to the U.S. and see this call coming in. Hello.
Hey, Sam, good morning. Quickly here, because I know you are pressed with time.
Yeah,
so I have bullet point where I wanted to see here, okay?
Okay, quickly.
As far as the investor go, I think I will support the initiative as long as it aligns with our laws in our country. Because even in the United States here, we got the Quack brothers. We got different political gurus who are from the business side that want to bring some improvement to the country that create jobs. So as long as it's aligned with that, that's fine. Number 2, Joel Howard Taylor. Look, the Bible, we need to stay away from what I would describe as the theology of civil governance. You cannot use the Bible to make decisions. And you know, and one thing you strike that I like is the fact that can we say that you align yourself with your former husband to commit the atrocity? Does that mean that we can hold you accountable for that? So the Bible is not the constitution of Liberia. The next thing I want to look at too is the economy is stressed. So the lawmakers asking for that amount is overkill. And I think I would not only support the TRC, but I would like to ask every Liberian to begin some type of constitutional amendment to reduce the lawmaker term to 4 years and 4 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much from the U.S. And Patrick Seward is telling me in here for security reason. I think it wasn't good to call the names of the wife and children who received the money, but it happened in the presence of the media, Patrick. So I'm not sure it was done behind closed door, and this is even in the press release sent with the names of the individuals mentioned in it, and so that's why we are lifting that they received the money, because that was done not in closed section. It was done with the president and with the media, and the chief of staff of the army spoke to the media about that. Let me take this caller right here. How are you?
Good evening, Smith.
Yes, how are you, sir?
And now good evening to our many listeners across the Liberia. My name is Ochuku Ogboswa Ochuku.
Okay.
Smith, I listen to you. You see, this is why we always do people. The issue that has to do with nationalistic and patriotism is very much serious in our country. We elected our lawmakers to make law in the interest of our people, to make sure that they will serve the interests of our people. Even if this has been proposed by the president that we need to borrow money to see how best we can develop our country, I don't think it requires you respecting for 10%. It's very much unlawful.
Some of allegedly, that discussion is taking place. They are being alleged of running through the corridor and making some demands. And you know, the thing about it, they got more CDC lawmakers in there, and some of them, they want the government to succeed. So when you carry that kind of discussion around there, you know, you gotta be careful, because the guys will definitely come out.
So quickly to conclude, I want to say to the faithful national legislators, let them please look into this bill, this proposal being sent by the president to see how they can sign this agreement that our country can be developed, and let them forget about this 10% issue, and then let us serve in the interest of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can take one more, and then I will talk to Mr. Moiba Kellan Johnson. He's not Moluba, he's Moiba. I hope I got it right. Kellan Johnson of the Civil Servant Association of Liberia. I'm told he's the president. We'll be talking about some of the issues, especially the vice president's statement in Bond County. Those chiefs, I'm told they are all civil servants. So how come they get threatened on their job? Let's take this caller here. How are you?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Yeah, my name is Razak Ekane. I call from Jamaica Road.
Razak, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the statement of the vice president. I don't think it is important for a vice president to make a statement before local officials, because it should be using a biblical definition that it is clear that every wicked thing that her husband did in this country, she was in line with her husband.
That's exactly my point. Because the two agreed to work in the same direction. And you say when two agreed to work together?
Yeah, she said once the green light directed the two they will be successful. So the green light that directed, then they become successful. Every prosecution that our husband is going on, it is better that you go on self prosecution too.
Thank you ever so much, folks. Let me say thanks for your time right here. It's been a very packed afternoon with a lot of trending development on the plate. It had to take me into this time. Very unusual that we go trending until 4:30 on the show, but we got a very interesting discussion. Flip side of 5 o'clock, 5:15. Honorable Dallas Guerre will be in here with me. But let me take a water break, folks, just to clear up a little bit. I'm back in the jiffy. Zuba, we can go. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one here. Oh yeah. Shut up, Griffey, if you interrupt my guests. This one for Swag Coco. Ba 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 ba. Yes, I tell you, a different way of going home and going right here, right now. 29 minutes to go down to 5 o'clock, we're punching the time together right here on The Conversation. Hold your peace, folks. We got more discussion coming ahead of us, trending the issues, picking up the pieces from the morning. And you know, the guys here, we compared our conversation. So before you hear Jala and Julius here, we hold our presenters discussion. So we are all in the note of the way we trend the issues together. So if they are talking about it in the morning, we are already in the know how we tailored our conversation right here on the show. It is always a good thing to do as a team. And so we fire from all cylinders here. Wodokwe Yega closed the chapter for all our discussion here in the evening at 8 o'clock on the OK Hard Talk. But let me say a pleasant good afternoon, and of course welcome to Moiba Kalan Johnson. I'm told the name is no more the Civil 7 Association, it's now the Civil 7 Union of Liberia, is that it?
Precisely.
Okay, so welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity given me this evening.
Okay, and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm quite fine.
Before we go on talking, let's go back. How come there's a change of name now?
Well, basically, the international partners from the labor sector have been working closely with us, along with the Liberia Congress, for which they've been pressuring Liberia to, especially Liberian civil servants, to be unionized. As a matter of fact, Liberia has been the only last country now in West African region that have not been the civil servants have not been unionized. So the pressure has been mounting on the Liberia Labor Congress, for which we also felt part of it, and we were asked to be unionized, and we went through our legal process, and we have our articles of incorporation mandating and giving us the garment as a union of civil servants.
So what is the difference in the change of name? What is going to happen then?
Basically, as an association, you do not have bargaining rights. Okay, and there are privileges, opportunities that come both from within and out. As an association, you do not benefit, but as a union, you have a right to. You have a bargaining right. You sit with authorities to discuss the good things for your workers, for your employees. Yeah.
Okay. So now you are on union. How has it been going, by the way? This is a new administration crossing in with a lot of new dynamics in here and there. You've been following very well.
Right.
How is the entire organization feeling the impact of the new administration?
As a matter of fact, we've not been feeling the impact well yet. Okay, though there are indicators.
When you say that feeling the impact well yet.
Basically, we've been promised. You remember when the president doing his inauguration, January the 22nd, when he made it very clear to the Liberian people and the world at large that the wages of civil servants will be living. Okay, that is, will be provided living wage that will dissuade us or discourage us from act of corruption. We are awaiting that to be made manifest. You know, from that statement. And like I said, on the West African Democracy Watch, whether we have hope in the president's government, we say yes, we have hope, because we feel that he's the president. Sometimes in the Liberian parlance, we say talk and do. Okay, so we believe that by the grace of the Almighty God, he will give us a living wage that will live a better life as workers in this country, because that has been the major hindrance for civil servants. We've always been languishing below the poverty belt. And so when that pronouncement was made, even when I met with him, sometimes a month before the last, and I commended him for making a passing reference about civil servant. He has been the first elected president whose inaugural speech he mentions the civil servants' wages. So we must commend him for that.
So making mention of his expectation of civil servant, is it reflective of what you've heard about and seen or read about in the first budget submitted by this government? Because the issue of increment in civil servant salary was talked about 12 years ago. It was done gradually, but at a certain point, I'm sure that's the peak. You've all reached. So what exactly you expect if the president said he will be paid a very good amount in terms of living wage?
Well, basically, as it is now from the budget, we do not see any variance, any difference, indicating the better wage. But again, as I said, it is a working document. Okay, we are engaged with the national legislature, to see whether or not the budget that has to do with the salary, okay, through the civil service agency will be increased. So I mean, we are in an engaging process.
Engaging process. So over the last few weeks or months now since the administration, we've heard about, I don't want to call it push over, but places of government interest and government employ look overcrowded. You are getting new members, authorized, unauthorized, places payroll look to be getting very high. The wage bill is about increasing by the day. Has that reached a concern? Are workers in some of the institutions complaining?
Workers are not actually complaining, but we are seeing movements around corridors of workplaces. Okay, we visited with the civil service agency, and we've seen, of course, a list of individuals sent there for tests, because that is one of the procedures.
Sending them for tests?
Yeah,
okay.
People have been taking tests, and I've been seeing some of their results. I mean, the authorities there have been very open to our leadership. They've been sharing information with us. Yes, we've seen there have been a long list of people sent there. But again, like we are all saying, the current payroll, okay, cannot account especially the amount we have in terms of dollars and cents, cannot account for the number of persons sent. So the constraint here now is where do we get the extra money to have the additional people placed on the payroll? I think this is where the civil service authority and the central government are working around to see how the money can be identified and placed into the budget to have those people accommodated.
So there are places that have come under the spotlight in terms of increase in numbers. For example, I'm hearing that the fire service alone have gotten 48 new additional employees. The National Transit Authority, they've received 125 new additional employees. Leptelco, I'm told, got 20 new employees. NASCO, for example, is hovering around 60 new employees. And the list goes on in other ministries and agencies. They are all forming a partner of the civil service, and that you are responsible for as president.
Unfortunately, most of the institutions that you are calling currently, they are not within the confine of or under the authorities of the civil service agency.
Okay.
Yeah, those are autonomous agencies and operating squarely on within their own enclaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those in the governmental cycle, like the ministries
and agencies,
and agency, besides the ones that are autonomous.
Right.
Are you hearing names and numbers in same?
Certainly. And like I just said, yes, we saw lists of individuals that went for tests, for civil service tests. We've seen the grades they are also scoring. Yes, we are seeing a long list.
But are you concerned about because some positions people just go to the ministry and because of accommodation, but the working in terms of work hours and productivity also matter.
Yeah, of course. As a matter of fact, I tell you this, okay, there can be no employment done within a given ministry or agency without the consent and approval of the civil service agency. That is the employment agency. You understand? That institution was primarily constituted to employ government workers, and so most of the staff was going. They have to pass through or through the civil service agency, for which we have to know qualified individuals that are going based on vacancies created into those entities, or when pronouncements are made. Obviously, those vacant positions are advertised on a bulletin, either at the civil service agency or to the various ministries. Now, then the ministry the entity.
But at this point,
agency,
are there vacancies that have been created? Have you seen?
Unfortunately,
have you seen a list of vacant positions in the ministry?
No,
and agency that people are now being recruited to also go to those ministries?
No.
So why are people taking tests then?
No, people are taking tests. That's the normal requirement. Now, for example, you have been appointed as a minister or a deputy minister, and you decide to either bring one or two persons along within your office that you feel comfortable with working. Okay, so when you bring them, you sometimes inquire within that bureau or within that ministry whether there is an open vacancy. But the sticky thing here is the Smith. Prior to the election of this regime, okay, there were some of our colleagues that have been working for years, that have been on the standby. Okay, they have been only receiving general allowances. Okay, and now on the GOL payroll, because the GOL payroll, when you are placed on it, it tells that you are a bona fide civil servant. Okay. Once you are not placed on the GOL payroll, of course, you are not considered a civil servant. Okay, so a bulk of our colleagues that have been on the waiting list, they have been only absorbed. We call that direct replacement. For example, if you were in the maintenance section or in maintenance department, and you have one or two of your colleagues that either pass off or for some reason they decide to take flight to another entity, then you are given a chance to replace that individual immediately. You understand? So we call that direct replacement, whereby our other colleagues have been waiting years upon years. Now until when this government also came, then we start seeing a new breed of people coming in. So our concern now is the payroll piling, okay? Because obviously, and currently as we speak, we have no heads at the agency yet, okay?
No head.
There is no director general, and the two deputies are not being appointed yet, okay? So that is one of our concerns that we have, and we are calling on the chief executive to have.
That should be a very serious concern.
Yeah,
if at all the agency or the union is to achieve its a goal or working relationship, there should be a direct connection. So how do you relate situation affecting the union without a director to the agency?
Okay, there's one of our impediments that we are having in our way, okay, for which we also call on the chief executive. When we met with him, we asked him to do an appointment, okay, of heads at the agency, because it's very vital. You know, you have anomalies occurring in various ministries and agencies, and when no concerns are brought forth to us, we do not take them further, because we only have we call it ORC, officer in charge at the civil service agency, through our colleague there, Reverend Way. He's the personnel director acting up to now. In fact, he made us to understand that even the agency is not represented at the level of the cabinet, during cabinet meeting. Okay, so it is a problem. It is a problem. So we are calling on the chief executive to have the vital sector, at least appointment be made in this vital sector, so that we can move forward.
So it's been over 5 months now. The government is over 100 days running into this administration, and to have a very vibrant sector without a director or without a head, and issues concerning people in the civil service, of course, ought to be addressed.
Right.
And you, as the president, you met the president of the country.
Right.
So did you discuss that with him?
Indeed, and he gave us the assurance that it was going to be done. And we
how long has it been now? It's been 2 months.
As I said, yeah, 2 months now. In fact, last week, because he told us that we can have access to him through his press secretary, we met with Honorable Charles Manor, okay, and we spoke, Sam Manor, and we spoke with him, and we asked him to just remind the president, you know, as to the appointment of heads at the agency, and he told us that you were going to pass that by the president. Yeah, but since then we have not spoken, because it was last week we spoke actually.
Okay, so there's another thing that we talked about a few days ago, that is of concern to you as the president of the union right now, to do with the vice president's statement in Bond County to the chiefs and elders of that county. Are they part of the union, and is that a concern that you think the vice president may have said something that caught your attention?
Yeah, actually, they are not bona fide civil servants, but currently as we speak, the civil service agency is the one providing a compensation for them through the paying system. Okay.
What do you mean?
You remember, since 1985 to 1987, since chieftaincy election, municipal and chieftaincy election were held. Okay, I brought in paramount chief, clan chief, so on and so forth. There has been no election since then. Okay, the executive has been making appointment through the internal affairs ministry. Okay, so that has been the case. So with that, we do not consider them bona fide civil servants. Actually, they are not bona fide civil servants. But so long they are now compensated through the civil service agency via the internal affairs ministry, then it gave us the ground now to speak for them. Okay, so it is from this angle that we've come to speak. We must say this: it is unfortunate, Comrade Toby, to have a sitting vice president, okay, wanting us to relive the past. I say this clearly: we cannot go back to the two-wing party arrangement. We also cannot go back to the NPP arrangement, where one political party was serving as a sole political party in the country. Okay, we are in 2018. We are now in the 21st century with new dynamism and with new dispensation. We cannot go back to relive the past. The vice president has to understand that the president is speaking much more conciliatorily than she is speaking. She is her statements, we feel, is much more divisive as opposed to uniting the people. Now, I say this to mean this: when the vice president first took over, she met more than 35 persons in the vice president's office. The first thing she did was to ask the civil service agency to have those people reassigned. We feel it was troubling. We raised the red flag on that. We said she asked that they get we have the communication with us.
And those were civil servants.
Yes, bona fide civil servants and we're professional people.
And she asked that
that they should be reassigned from her office. Okay.
And she took her own people.
Indeed, she brought in her own people.
So the new individuals are now considered as what? Civil servants?
Well, they are not civil servants yet because they are not placed on the GOL payroll. Since she has authority on the she paid them through the general allowance. They are not on the GOL payroll. They are not receiving GOL money. They are receiving money that she has control over, and that is the general allowance. But let me just say this: the president 3 months ago made it very clear that whether you're from the ruling United, ruling CDC, or from the opposition, we should all coexist in our various workplaces. There should be no discrimination. There should be no one talking about you opposition, the other person opposition. We are all Liberians now. The president said, and he made that manifest on Friday, where he met with staffers at the Ministry of State. He made it clear to them that almost every month he will have personal interaction with them, so there will be this camaraderie, that the president, while working in that ministry, will not be seen as someone from afar, that they will all work together. You understand?
So you think that the president is being more reconciliatory
than the vice president? Indeed.
Because she took everyone off her office and brought in new people.
That's what we're saying. So she said, she quoted the Bible, that how can two work unless they agree? So it means that she's not agreeing with the president. That's what she is saying. Because no, listen, the president, because I tell you this, the president is trying to bring people together, and she's trying to divide people. How can you now tell us at this day and age that unless you become a sedition, you will not protect your job will not be protected? It's absolutely wrong. The government took oath to providing job for the Liberian people. You met the people working, and how can you tell the chief that they should stay ready to lose their job unless they become a sedition?
But the president is not saying that.
The president is not saying. The president is saying, whether you're from ANC, whether you're from NPP, whether you're from ACO, or whether you are from Liberty Party, we should all coexist. We should all work together. You understand? Then the vice president is saying, no, I do not agree with you, Mr. President. The people should be they should be partisans of the CDC before they can maintain their job. That's what she's saying, which is wrong. Now, what that does is this, Smitty. Number one, it creates a platform for sycophancy. Say, for example,
Smith, you have a political party. You are forcing me to join a political party. I will only become loyal to you when you come when you are standing before me. I become loyal to you. As soon as you turn your back, I'm doing different thing. You understand? Now, what the vice president should start doing, and all those that in line with her statement should start doing, because I listened to my good friend Akaros Gray, okay,
Honorable Akaros Gray.
Yeah, Honorable Akaros Gray, who also agreed with the vice president. I was taken aback yesterday when I listened to your program. Honorable Akaros Gray was defending Honorable the vice president. I said, oh, come on now, how this would be? I mean, the president, who is the flag bearer of the CDC, will say that the people should coexist. Then you, as a representative from that very political party, you are also backstabbing the president. The president is saying we should reconcile, we should be together. Then you are saying no, we should find a job for sedition. Yes, we agree. They are our brothers and sisters.
But what is wrong? What is wrong? You know, if the vice president seems to be the one wanting to prioritize people joining the party, because as she rightly said, the Bible says so. So if two people work together, they ought to agree. So if you want to stay in your job or stay on the job, is to agree with the CDC and join the CDC.
That's why we are saying it's wrong. It's wrong. So because she said in her statement also that others did it before.
But the vice president is not running her own agenda here. There's a government agenda.
And the government agenda, who is the chief proponent of the agenda?
The president.
The president. So we follow the president, not the vice president.
So why is it like there is a split agenda here?
Well, she because you remember now, during the campaign period, she went to Nima County and said that she will bring back the NPP agenda, the child settler agenda. So is that?
Did she say that?
Oh yes, she said the recordings are there.
Did she say that?
Yes, she said she will bring back the child settler agenda. And what was the child settler agenda?
What was it?
The child settler agenda was for civil servants to receive pay twice a year. That was the child settler agenda.
The agenda was above all else the people. So they were.
But you are here living witness. You are living witness. We are taking pay twice a year. When 26 come in, we take pay. When Christmas come in, we take pay. And that was all. That was all. So we are saying to this president, look. I mean to the vice president, look, we will not subscribe to your statement. We will not in all facets. If you think you come to target workers, especially civil servants, we are saying no to her. It will make the ground very uncomfortable for her.
But no,
I must say it. We must say it because if you come with the belief that you will target workers into this country.
Hello, calm down. This is a public radio. So if you intend to make the terrain uneasy for the vice president, that is a threat of the vice president's security.
No.
So you know, you ought to be very careful how you speak about the office of the vice president, because she's the second in command. So whatever that is affecting you can get properly redressed, but not by making threat to the office of the vice president.
If I say uncomfortable when it says, if you continue to target workers, especially civil servants in this country, we stage a major demonstration, and you see.
But the vice president first move on to get out of people you consider civil servants from our office.
Yeah.
What did you do?
We raised the red flag, and up to now we are still engaged.
And where are the individuals you said should be reassigned?
That's what I said. Most of them, they are lingering around.
They are sitting home and taking free money now.
We believe, because she asked that the civil service agency should reassign them. We believe that they might have taken assignment in other areas. You understand? And that's our belief. Even though we stay in a discussion with some of them, even the personnel directors in the vice president's office there, and the deputy personnel director, we try to get establish contact with them, and that's what we are doing. But many of our colleagues from that office currently they are out of that office and maybe elsewhere working, because we really cannot account for them now. Yeah,
the situation of the chiefs of the county, and then with the instruction from the vice president that said they should report to the superintendent and speak to one of the lawmakers of the county, also speak division.
Of course, because how will you say the chief should report directly to the superintendent, and one of the I don't know from where she drawing this conclusion, because the people are working for the Liberian people.
Yeah.
Why will you say they should just report to the superintendent and one lawmaker when they all supposed to be working together for the betterment of the country? Because her statement has a way of flowing over to the rest of the other counties. You understand? Where people will be, in fact, much more divisive, because now, if, for example, this chief is sitting in his position as a chief, and the man that wants to come there, feel that he's a partisan of the coalition, we start picking at this chief. They say, oh, if you do not come over to me, I will take over your position. And what if the new man comes in? That will be a division. So all over the place, there will be chaos. There will be chaos all over the place. So what we are saying, stop this. The only thing the vice president and others can do is that serve the Liberian people well. Listen, Toby, there is no way that you have to, at this current dispensation, to force people to join a political party. Just serve the people right. Just serve the Liberian people right, and see
and
whether
make the decision.
They will make a decision whether they will not follow. Everybody wants to be taken care of.
What is even more confusing in all of this is that the vice president was just on the media a few weeks back, apologizing to the president and speaking about reconciliation and talking about working together as a team. How comes you go to another county just a few days after that unification, reconciliation comments, and to talk about something that will bring about division and wanting people to join political party because they ought to secure the job?
In my opinion, as president for Civil 7, I think that is a backstabbing, and she shouldn't have gone that way. I think she's talking more than the president is doing. You understand?
But she don't want to be a pack vehicle.
A pack vehicle does not mean that you should sway from the agenda, the central agenda. The central and the chief driver for that central agenda is the president. The president cannot be speaking A, then you say Z. The president is saying we should unite. You are saying no, we should divide. It's wrong. It's wrong today. It will be wrong tomorrow. What if you have employed all sedition now? Then the next after your tenure, another government comes in. They should do the situation should repeat itself.
What goes around comes around.
No, then where we are going? Nowhere. We need this country to be developed, and the only way this country can be developed today is we should have a focused agenda. We should have a focused mind, and that's the mind that the president wants to draw us to have a focused mind. We should unite together and work for the betterment of our country, and not to come and I see you as opposition, you see me as opposition. We cannot talk to one another in the office. The president wants us. The president wants all of us to work for the betterment of this country, and we should do that with love. Cultivating our love for one another. That's the agenda of the president. When I sat with him, we discussed. That was the agenda he was placing squarely to us, because he said to us, "Look, I will not always want people, demonstrating, putting placards up here, there, yonder. I think when we'll have our situation, when we work together with A, I think it will do better for us." There's the word of the president when he said that to me. You understand? And my colleagues are carried along with me. In that meeting, he carried the speaker, he invited the speaker, he invited the pro tem, he invited Honorable Munapeno, and other cabinet ministers were there. That's what he said to us. And we hold him to his word.
You're speaking with so much strength here, speaking out because you sound frustrated about the conversation surrounding the vice president. Her comments, her action as of the day she took office, her recent discussion in Bond County is rather eating you up, and you're speaking angry.
No, it's not actually eating me up. I'm not frustrated about it. The only thing we are doing as civil servant is that we feel sorry for the vice president. We believe that she should calm down. Let her calm down. Let her work in the proper agenda, within the proper agenda. The proper agenda never call for dismissing people because they are not in tune with this with the CDC. The proper agenda never call for that. The proper agenda call for the betterment of the lives of the Liberian people. But that's the agenda of the.
But she is not right sizing, neither she is not down sizing.
No, but that's what we're saying. She wants to relive the past. We cannot revise ourselves too. We cannot go back to the past. We have to move ahead. This country has to move ahead. This country has to move ahead. We cannot say downsizing because other people did it before. So you say at your time you want to do that. Then why they change scheme? Why we let them? Why we deny you let the past government?
But that's the right thing. That's the time.
No, but listen.
But I'm a time, so I'll do what I want to do and do it to satisfy me and my partisan.
I tell you this, it is all of us time. Like I said to the president, his election was by no mistake. we all contributed to this because we wanted a change, and there's a change that we want. This administration came on the back of a change. You understand? Hope for change, and there's a change that we are all holding on to. We cannot reverse to the old order. We cannot do that. Okay. If we do that, then it means that we're going nowhere.
Okay, Tom again is catching up with us. Senator Dallas Gué will be in shortly. But we're talking to the president of the Civil Servant Union of Liberia. It was once the Civil Service Association, but now it is the Civil Servant Union of Liberia. His name is Moba Kellen Johnson. He's sharing some time here. Let me give you some introduction from the lines and the calls coming in. So we wrap up and bring in Senator Dallas Gué. We'll be talking on his recent visit and, of course, his return to the county. I'm told he's about to join the coalition. What is the purpose of that is to secure his space in the upcoming senatorial election. Where there is CDC, there is always victory. I'm told that's what people will want to troop into the CDC. But Senator Gué and I will be talking about that shortly. Go down to the lines and give me the call on 07777009508880939395. This is the conversation. OK FM 99.5, the platform we discuss the issue. Let's take this very first caller here. Good evening. It's past 5 o'clock. Yes, how are you?
Yeah, we want to say a very big thank you to the better interior.
Okay.
One thing you should know, the vice president office is not an ordinary office. The vice president has to say right. If he has with those people that are in that office, they can make a transfer as a civil servant. So that one thing you should know. Just that if he is a president of the union, then he's trying to counter-react with the current government that on him. He has to make everything in a persuasive manner, not in a hostile manner as he was saying in that topic. So let him know that we all know that there are for example, about 50% were working in the government, in the past government, and then they were taking about 200% pay. We of course we want that thing to happen about this time. So what we need, we want for more people to go into the civil service to work according to the money that will be allocated.
Okay, thank you. Let's get going here. Running to the lines quickly. Yeah, Josh Wisner, how are you? I'm seeing your comments. Thanks very much for following the conversation. Let me take another one. How are you?
Yeah, Father Smith.
Good evening.
Yeah, let me just brother into your guest. Get 2 points quick. This happened calling on district number 12. Let me make your senior guest understand something. The statement of the vice president in Bon County, I see no problem with it because you have to understand from what position the vice president speaks. The vice president was speaking figuratively. She was talking about years. She was not talking about to come to the coalition physically. The vice president was saying, in order to get a job, you have to flag the idea of the coalition.
Okay, thank you. You maybe understood it the way that's how you're talking about it. But there's one Miata down that is in Canada. Is that where she is? Yeah, she's following the bracket. Say, hi, Uncle Moiba. Please call your beautiful cousin in Canada. Call me on Saturday at 1 p.m. She's asking me to transmit that message to you. Her name is Miata. So I hope you got her number. You can call her. Let me take 5 more calls now, then we'll let it go. Hello?
How are you, sir?
Yes, how are you, sir?
Good evening, veteran.
Yeah, good evening.
Veteran.
Please.
The name is John. Veteran. The name is Johnny Martha Coleman, and I joined from District Polling Region. I'm sorry that my voice not. I mean, I don't. I'm too far. But hello.
Go ahead. We are following you.
Yeah, Kevin. Veteran. I want us to take the vice president's decision into consideration because I get there research that she can afford it. I mean, my senator, my former senator, then at the time, that she's suffering from brain cancer.
No, I beg you. Yeah, something wrong with you, eh? I'll look for the number. You're not calling the radio station, said Jenna. Tokabiria, I'm seeing your call coming in. If you return it, I will definitely hold you on and get back with me. But let me go back to this line here. Hello?
Yes, Smith. How you doing?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, thank you, Smith. This is Charles R. Kennedy.
Please go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, come on radio and I listen to your guest. 2 questions quickly in the comment. Well, I want to know, since the vice president made the comment, I want to know whether anybody from his union have been affected. That's one question. Then the former superintendent of Bon County, Selena Mampe, when she made that statement, what was his reaction?
Okay, thank you. 2 questions. We're taking 3 more calls now. Trying to get you come to the line. So let's get talking on 0777700995 08809399395. This is the conversation. Let me talk to my colleague, Togard Edizana B. There.
How are you?
Yes, how are you, bro? How you keeping?
Yes, let me say good evening to your studio guest as well.
Please go ahead, Togard.
Yeah, basically, I listened to the part that got to do with the vice president getting rid of all of the people she met in her office.
Yeah.
And seriously, this is a very serious issue. This is what is creating a huge increment in the wage bill of the country. I am understanding that, President, we have met 40,000 employees in government, and that has increased to now 70,000 employees. My source must be very correct. And it was interesting to note that when you take over like the office of the vice president and you get rid of all the staff, those staff will remain on government payroll. So interestingly, you are creating a situation where they will be sitting home, they could even find new jobs and be doing it. But every month their account will hit because they are not in business, they are civil servants. And this will happen over and over at all the other places where people are going and just removing civil servants and say, you go home and go sit down. The government will be under obligation to pay those people, and at the end of the day, the government will be losing more because you have more people on the payroll but not getting the money that they deserve, and will be sitting home and raising more money. So the government needed to think about this. In Sierra Leone, for example, where the guy has just taken over, he's even asking people to reapply in an effort to get the right people to do the job, instead of just bringing people from party lines and filling the different places. As we speak, I don't know whether CSA even has a director general or deputy as we speak. No appointment has been made, no structure of the government payroll. So the wage bill is going to go high. That is why the over 500 million budget we got, over 300 million of that budget is going towards salary. Okay. And you think any development will be done? No.
Thank you.
Because majority of the money is going towards salary.
Thank you, Toga. Thank you very much. Time is running against us right now. Let me take the last one. I see one call coming in from the US. I'm trying to see if I can connect that call. I'm sure. Let me close with this one from our overseas line. This one is reading me in Minnesota. Okay, he dropped the line. So I'm going to wait for this call to return on 0777700995. I'm going to close up the line with this final one from the US. How are you? Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, how are you?
My name is McDonald F. Nyakwe. McDonald Flobo Nyakwe, calling from Minnesota, USA.
Madonna Flobo Nyakwe.
McDonald Flobo Nyakwe from Bon County.
Okay, go ahead.
Besides for Liberia.
Yes, go ahead.
My brother, I listened to the vice president's speech. And as a vice president for a nation, you can say that our time will chop, but we'll take that out chopping. You understand? Now, I'm trying to discriminate Liberians. We are all Liberians. I mean, that's people so immature. I did not at least expect to have a tenor I know, a sound lawyer, to make such a mature statement. You don't say things like that. You understand? Also, I didn't know what they do. I don't believe it because there's lady or husband, they took our money, they will say they want a whole lot more money for a lot of time. So I don't care how much is paid. Should not be content.
All right. Thank you, Nyan. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining. And let me say thanks to all of the callers of interest in this discussion. And for those of you who are still attempting to call, we will close the lines at this point. We'll return to our studio guests to respond to one or two of it. Then we'll close up to bring in Senator Dallas Goe, who's already around. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much to my brother that just called and to inquire, Senator Mampe, a statement, whether I reported to it. We spoke against it. In Bon County, we spoke against it. We spoke against it. In Monrovia, we spoke against it. All over the place. Listen, anyone that will tend to divide our people based on party line, we are saying it's wrong. And it is wrong. We should not, that is not pure democracy. That is not democracy at all. Let us give democracy the chance to flourish in this country. But engaging people based on a professional work they are doing for the betterment of our dear country, but not to come and divide people and threaten people based on your party affiliation. Everyone will not be in one political party. We are all from different political persuasions, and I think we should just encourage one another to see how Liberia should be our common denominator. And Liberia is behind. Let us see how we can unite this place, unite ourselves together. Thank you very much for this platform.
Thank you very much, Moiba Kalan Johnson, for joining the team here at OKID FM 99.5. Another pleasant Tuesday is just about leaving us, and we will be back shortly to talk to Senator Dallas Goe. He's going to be here talking on some national issue, harboring and intend to move on to the Coalition for Democratic Change. But before we slip in the Senator, we drop this one. Let's dance a little bit. Now you the special aid to the Senator. Now your man. Yes, we're rolling right here. The firing man is back in the house. Hilary Mento. Lost and found. Senator, you bring all the boys in the studio today. Mento the milk juice mayo. The milk juice for you. Let me spin. I have to see. We go in 3 minutes from now. We'll go on talking. I'm told the broadcast is being relayed on River's Broadcasting Service 99.3 there in River's County. This song is loved by my own police friend Mickey Gray. I don't know what's about this song. You love this music so much. Are you back in town now? The last time I checked, you was somewhere in Nimba County. Oh, Yukwe. This song get Pele inside. It get Basso inside. It get organ in the music. I don't see what gonna do for me. I just want to spin a little bit, dance around. Media consultant to the Senator Hilary Mento. And then they got no other push yet. And then I push. Enter the Senator of it, the media consultant. Okay. Happy birthday if you are celebrating your birthday on today. I got 2 minutes to do this one. Then we go on talking to Senator Dallas Goe. If you're there in River's County, tune in to the River's Broadcasting Service, RBC or RCBC, RCBS. Okay, there 99.3 is the frequency. All of our friends viewing us on the social media, how are you all doing today? All work go far play, make Jack's a door boy. And so it's time to play it a little bit. This is the only place I can dance. You never see me stand up to do it. I can rock the chair. I never dance and rock the dance floor. But I can rock this black rocking chair like no one does it better. Even Jada Griffey will not dance in a chair more than I do. I bet Judas Jet, the Maryland County representative to OKID FM. One county ambassador to OKID FM is Jada Griffey. Sort of kind of Gable man and the Pella man do a talk show together in the morning. You know how interesting it is? Jada saying one thing, Judas saying another thing. Say no, hold the line. Say no, we'll talk together. No, that get talking. Very interesting composition. And that's the beauty of the radio. We'll do democracy here as well. We agreed and disagree. Welcome back to the city, CEO Mervyn Wee. man, I thought you were missing. Your phone now ringing, no one know which are the play you eat, which are the transit point. Yeah, the beautiful song right there. I thought to play this music in 4 because they've been talking all since 3 o'clock this afternoon and running the trending issue and then going on to go talk about the situation with our brothers and sisters. Now we're about to go talk again. And when I called him this morning and he said, "Can I have my press conference?" I said, no press conference. You see it right here on the radio. We've been hearing about all of the hula baloo around, but we'll get to that. I'm told he's just returned to the country. He's my good old friend. I love to call him that way, but a very energetic senator who speak without fear. Senator Dallas Goed is here. Let me say welcome to all of the folks there in Riverside County. I'm told you are carrying this broadcast live on Riverside Broadcasting Service, FM 99.3. So your senator is here. Senator Goed, it's my pleasure. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure to be just happy to be giving out those information that my people will need to be informed.
I'm sure you just returned to the country?
Surely I got in Sunday night from Abuja, attending 2 different conferences, one on the West Africa Monetary Union, because by 2020, West Africa is supposed to be having one currency, and this is the conference we went to attend as a member of the Ways, Means and Finance Committee of the Liberian Senate. And also, as a member of the Public Accounts and Auditing Committee of the Liberian Senate, we had the opportunity to go for studies at the Nigerian Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies for 3 days. And the experience was okay, and I came back very strong and energized and well positioned to be more robust in my legislative activity.
Okay, so going to a conference representing Liberia, returned from the conference, you come with the new energy to be more robust in your legislative work.
Yeah.
But how well did we perform at the conference? What did we do?
Oh, definitely.
Liberia, sitting there and
Liberia's fully participated because I was there with Senator Prince Johnson, Honorable Edwin Snow, Clarence Masakoe, Steve Zago, Haja Sion, and Henry Yala. Liberia fully participated, and we were part of the issues. And they think, the entire proceedings is carried live on the Nigerian television and both on satellite TV around the world. So, it is an activity that is actually broadcasted around the world.
So, besides the huge team or the well-structured team, did the country make any presentation at the conference?
Obviously, every country had to participate. I think Representative Matthew Zaza made a very brief presentation. Joseph Matthews of Bapolo, Ben Fofana of Maigibi County, Clarence Masakoe. These people had the opportunity, to do some presentation on behalf of our delegates because, that the entire 17-man team could not speak. But the country had a chance to be represented, and we fully participated in every activity, both the working session and the plenary section.
We are struggling here in the economy of ours, and you go to a very big conference discussing financial issue, West African monitoring, how you call it?
Monetary Union.
Are we prepared to be a part of that? What is the detail of that?
Well, there are certain protocols that Liberia will have to accede to. There are certain conditionality that have to be met. As we speak, Liberia has acceded to 3 of that, but we renege on one due to our country going back into recession due to the Ebola crisis. So Liberia now have qualified and fulfilled 2 of those conditions. So we have gone back step 1 again because we have fulfilled 3 conditions. Because I'm not an economist per se, but issues that have to do with inflation, budget deficit financing, and all those stuff have to be curtailed. And inflation will have to be reduced to the bare minimum. You know, these are some conditions that have to be met. But when the country had to suffer, this economic crisis due to the Ebola issue, you know, we forfeited some of our positions, our economy constricted, and due to that constriction, we are a little bit behind now. But the year set for that to be fulfilled is about 2020. And
we are beyond now. Others are ahead in the discussion, in their preparation. When will we ever catch up?
We are prepared to catch up, and it can be made because that's a communique that was signed by the entire ECOWAS member countries, so that we can do everything possible. Wherever we have shortfall, we will have to double our effort in terms of meeting the economic conditions to be able to accede to the monetary union come 2020.
So let's agree that we meet all of the obligations taking us to be a part of that union. What is going to happen at the end?
At the end of the day, we are going to be, the entire 16 West African countries will accede to that. But what we concluded at this conference is that we will not wait for all of the countries to meet the condition. We will reach that condition just like we learned from the European Union. The European Union, because they wanted monetary union, they coerced all the countries to do everything hurriedly, and there are some problems that some of the European Union countries are facing now due to that, hurry accession to the monetary union. So now what ECOWAS agreed upon at this conference is that we are going to go ask you fulfill your conditions, you join. So it is not, all the countries will not be joining the monetary union the same year.
Okay.
But as you fulfill, you join, because we do not want any country to suffer any economic constraint.
Let them be the last to join.
Well, whatever it is, but as far as we are concerned, we signed a communique, and Liberia will have to accede to the monetary union. Yeah.
So the point I was asking here is, so what will happen at the end of the day? One currency?
One currency for West Africa. One currency, the ECO.
Oh, that's what you call
the ECO. The ECO.
The ECO.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the entire West Africa, and in fact, some of the issues discussed there had to do with the synchronization of the SIM cards. Yeah, those are some, because West Africa paid the highest in terms of tariff to call in the West Africa sub-region according to the analysis made at this conference. So, but if this is done, one of the things that we're going to do is that your SIM card that you use in Liberia will be used all over West Africa and the same tariff charge in Liberia will be charged in Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ghana, Ivory Coast. But as we speak, like when I was going at this conference, because I was rooming, I used $50 in 4 days. $50 in 4 days. Which is very expensive.
Too much of a money.
Yeah, too much. So, and if I'm in Liberia, you know that I cannot use $50 in 4 days, you know that, right? But because of this, and this is a burden that we are bearing because of the lack of unity in terms of, the monetary union. So if we have one currency, the same, a tariff charge by Lone Star in Liberia will be charged by MTN in Nigeria, because MTN is all over West Africa. So why is it that I'm paying $1 for 3 days here, and I'm paying $50 for 4 days in Nigeria? It's very expensive. Okay. And it is the citizens that, if I am feeling this,
so
think about the ordinary citizens.
You want that to be synchronized.
So that would be some of the conditions, that would be some of the benefits that West Africa or ECOWAS citizens will enjoy.
At the end of the day, we're going to boost trade and commerce.
Yeah. And most of the tariff charge will be reduced according to these are some of the conditions, but the entire communique, will be presented to the parliament when we are submitting our reports.
Thank you very much, giving us an insight of your travel and where to explain right here. But how's the county? Let's go back to the county.
Riverside is good, except a few people who may want to destabilize the county, or people who want to target Dallas Goer because they feel that Dallas Goer is a
target Dallas Goer
because he's a powerhouse.
I'm lost at that point.
Yeah, they want to target Dallas Goer because Dallas Goer may soon be going back to elections come 2020.
But every election year, politicians are the target, and that should not be a strange thing.
No, I don't find it to be strange.
So why you want to make a big issue of people coming after you?
But people want to politicize issues that should be non-political.
But the job you are doing is not your personal job. It's not your property. It's not something that you pay for. Just how you got qualified and got voted for, someone else can equal it. represent the people as well. So the ideas.
I do not have a problem with that, but politics is a science. So, politics is based on facts.
So why do you want to take people coming after the job as coming after?
Politics is a science.
But you are not the master of the science.
Politics is a science.
You are not the master of the science.
I am not, but listen to me now.
Go ahead.
And because science is based on fact, proven evidence. So if politics is a science, it is not based on lies. It is based on truth. It is based on evidence.
It's not possible that everything you said to the people of Riverside County when you wanted the job that you are in today was all about the truth. You also make stories.
I have never lied.
You also
I don't lie in politics.
You also make stories.
That's why I'm the political realist. I don't lie.
You make stories.
I'm very clear. I'm very clear. Dallas will speak clearly every time. And this is why I speak boldly. Because go and check behind whatever word I utter and you will find out that this is the truth. I do not owe anybody to lie to them.
How did you win the election?
I won it because of my integrity. Integrity won me this election. I never had money. The poorest person who ever came to the Liberian Senate, Dallas go ahead.
Did you promise something?
Never. I don't. Because I know my job. I know what I was coming into. I know that my job has to do with building consensus. I know that my job has to do with lobbying. It is not based on me making fabulous promises. And let me tell you something. Strange as it may sound, I came to this job based on what I did and not what I will do. You understand me? What I did in the country, 24 years. I served my people with due diligence. So I came to this job based on what I have achieved, more than what I'm going to do for people.
But that is not a guarantee that you're going to stay on that job perpetually.
I don't mind. My last name is not senator.
So other people thinking more than you right now, running with technology, want to come and do better than you've done.
Well, if they can do, if anybody can beat me, then that person must come from paradise.
Paradise.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Paradise. This is Dallas Grant speaking.
But that is coming.
But because since it is not possible, what I'm trying to tell you that it is the impossibility of somebody beating Dallas Grant in Riverside. If you want to beat me, then you must come from paradise, because nobody can do or have done what I have achieved in my legislative practice in Riverside County. Let anybody come and prove me wrong. Say we have done more than Dallas Grant when he served as teacher, classroom teacher, when he served as principal, district education officer, county education officer, and a senator of Riverside County. Come and disprove my evidences that are plain and glaringly evident to the people of Riverside County. They must be the judge and not a social media politician.
Honorable Dallas Gué,
this is me.
You ought to go to this competition prepared. If not, you will not return to the Liberian Senate in the next election.
I'm going to be a senator for Liberia for the next 27 years.
27?
What mean? I will be
That's been
3
greedy.
terms.
That's been greedy.
It is not being greedy. It is because I know legislative politics and I'm a good servant of my people.
So how come you want to serve 3 terms?
Senator Burr was senator of the United States for 52 years.
This is not the United States here.
But this is Liberia. This is democracy.
This is not the United States.
This is democracy. This is democracy.
Granted, but this is not the United States here.
This is democracy. And in democracy, you are elected based on your achievement and based on your level of advocacy for the people you represent.
So let's go to the Warrior News achievement. How long you been in the Liberian Senate?
6 years.
What have you done for Riverside?
What have I done?
I'm not talking about your classroom performance that took you to the Liberian Senate.
Let me tell you something.
So let me see in 6 years, what is the picture of Riverside that have changed under your supervision or in your advocacy for the people of that country?
Look at my term of reference. The term of reference of the lawmaking, oversight, representation. Check my record in the Liberian Senate. I fulfilled my duties. My cardinal duties defined by the Constitution.
How is that affecting the people of Riverside County?
Positively.
How is it putting food on the table to say and say and do all of the loud talking? The bread and butter issue, the issues affecting the citizens of Riverside County.
So Smith Toby,
go ahead.
Does a lawmaker have to put bread and butter on the table of the people of Riverside?
How do you feel when your people are starving and they are suffering from hunger and no hospital, no good
it baffles me. It baffles me that you have a term of reference and then you are going beyond the term of reference. What you are talking about is the expectation.
Your advocacy should improve the life of the people of the county. Your advocacy.
If you could give me the chance.
One more chance. We have a very nice conversation.
I agree.
So one more chance do you want?
I agree. The chance I want from you is give me the chance to elaborate, because first I want to hold you to the fact that my constitutional responsibility is fulfilled.
is fulfilled.
Fulfilled.
Your lawmaking, your oversight.
Fulfilled, that is made. What you are talking about is the expectation. The perception is what you are talking about. And the perception cannot define my job. And this is what caused legislators in this country to be defeated.
Senator Dallas Guer, if you are sitting on Capitol Hill and be the man with the loudest voice, speaking on all the national issue, and the people of Riverside County sees nothing of your impact in the county where they still vote for you because you got good oversight, you got good representation, and your three cardinal responsibilities are going very well, will the people still vote for you?
Let me tell you one thing, Smith. Let me tell you one thing. If the Liberian people understand, if our journalists in this country will understand the responsibility defined by the constitution of a lawmaker, then lawmakers will remain on Capitol Hill to do the job for which they were elected. Most of the time, let me just give me the chance, because this is why I said, leave me alone. Let me expand on my ideas.
Go ahead, expand.
Yeah.
Take it. Go ahead.
You know, but most of the time, what causes lawmakers to be defeated is the expectation of people. And the expectation of people will not be met because the expectation of people are diverse as a human beings are diverse. Because people in Little Liberia may be thinking differently than the people in Timor Beach. People in Timor Beach may be thinking differently from people in Manor Beach. So everybody thinking and perception and expectation are not the same. So you cannot define my job by the expectation of people. Having said that, Dallas Guer sitting as a senator have impacted the lives of the people. Number one, in terms of human resource development, I have sponsored students from grade school, and some are graduating now. Some are told from 7th grade, they are graduating from high school this year. That's some of my achievements. Close to 7 of my sponsored students are graduating from high school. I got 4 students sponsored by me, opened a channel for them, got a scholarship, and they are currently in China going to university, some in bachelor, some in master's degree, some in PhDs. Okay? That's 2. Thirdly, I have students that I'm sponsoring personally at various universities, UMU, Stella Marie, AMEU, University of Liberia, in this country. And I believe if some of them are under the sound of my voice, they will call to their leadership and tell you, yes, that it is Dallas Guer who is sponsoring us. I said some of them giving them skills to the vocational training centers. Some of them are sending them to driving schools. Some of them are sending them to other vocational training schools. So my human capacity building activity is the greatest achievement, one of the greatest achievements that I've had. That's 1. 2, my church assistance program, where I build churches, renovate churches, provide them with chairs, ceiling tiles, zinc, and whatever that church will be the need of that church. Churches in Riverside will attest to this program. My church assistance program go across Riverside County. That's 2. My women empowerment program, where I go in the community, similar to what Mills Jones did at the Central Bank of Liberia, go in the community, organize the women, give them some money to empower themselves, which they use as revolving funds that that is given to them and managed by 3%, a small team of 3. And this money have empowered Riverside, and I still carry it out today. Just last week, I just sent money to some of the communities where I made those commitments after I go, because I have to go and build up the team and organize them. Then before sending the money in that community, where I empower them. All right. Then the young people, I also provide needed assistance to them for like their football team. He's aware in his village where he comes from, provided football boots and provided jerseys for the young people. Right now, I'm on a community outreach program. The community outreach program target the towns and the villages, where I provide them their town halls with, depending on the need, chairs, generator, plastering, or making a cement floor to make it to look decent and presentable. And this is a community outreach program that I'm doing. My final program that I have now, which will be launched in July, will be the Youth Empowerment Program, which will be defined, which is being fine-tuned by my strategic thinkers. By July, I will be launching the Youth Empowerment Program across the county.
So you know the reason why I had to sit quiet and listen to you outline some of the activities of your office and your achievement, something you think no one else would do for Riverside County.
No, I don't say anybody would do it, but to beat me, to beat my record.
Have you sat and talked to some of the people who've gone to election from the Liberian Senate or the House of Representatives and see why they weren't voted for? Have you learned any lesson?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I talk to a lot of them. I work with them and I listen to them, and sometimes I sit down with them and learn some lessons from them. Those who lose and those who win.
Do you believe that some did very well on Capitol Hill and did poorly in the interaction with the people, and they were voted out?
Definitely so. I know
so
that.
You learned. There's some lesson you pick up from
my strength.
You learn some lesson.
I learn lesson a lot,
and you know that you have of no deception in that.
Definitely so. Oh man, I know that the rope that the tie baboon with the rope can hear monkey.
Okay.
I know that one very well. So I mean, so I'm very much cognizant of that every day. But if Smith, let me tell you, if I do not have anything, there's one thing that Riverside people will know Dallas going for. My people to people interaction is the best characteristics of my leadership.
That Hilary Mento, who is now your media consultant, will one day tell you he holds that ambition of being the man that want to replace you.
Because of the time he worked with me, and he and myself go out in the community with my community outreach program, he learned a lot from me, and he can replicate what I have done. And I will not be surprised because he's somebody who is intelligent and he knows what is good. I will not be surprised if he will do that. And because let me tell you, you know my prayer? I pray that my children or those that come after me to be better than me. That is my prayer. I don't see myself as the best or having reached my zenith in life. I will want for somebody to.
No, you see yourself
better.
right now as the best, that no one in Riverside can beat you at
No. I'm talking about people who want to come and say, well, we can do better than Dallas going out.
Yes. Yes. People come and say
okay,
they can do better than you.
Who will see? I mean, the rest of people will be the judge.
Is that the reason why you are opting to? How did you win? You did as an independent candidate?
Sure.
So this time around, where you go in?
I'm joining the Congress for Democratic Change, and I will be making my official presentation at a press conference very, very shortly. And Smith, Toby, you are invited.
If at all you want as an independent, you've done so well in strengthening your grip on the county with the development, with the young people, the market women, the scholarship programs. So why you want to align yourself with a political party?
That's a dynamism of politics. It's dynamic. It's not static. Politics is
the CDC is not a gospel for all election.
That's a dynamism of politics.
CDC formula will not work in Riverside as it will work in most of.
I don't mind the rest of the
That would just be the wrong decision. But why the CDC?
I don't mind.
Why the CDC?
Because I feel comfortable with CDC. I believe that they have the best formula.
No, because there's a president that is from the CDC that will go to Riverside and lift your hand and say, this is my choice. Is that why you want to hide?
When I contested against a CDC candidate and I won him.
So why can't you go as independent as you did in the
This is my choice. This is my choice. It don't have to please everybody. That's my choice.
You would just be hiding.
All the beautiful women in the world, I saw one and I told her all the women were complacent. Why don't they marry me?
But you were hiding. At this point, you want to hide under the canopy of the CDC.
Never.
That's what you want to do.
I'm bold.
That's not true.
I'm bold.
The fact of the matter is that you want to be covered by the CDC.
No. I've decided that I see my vision and it pair with that of Ambassador George Weah as the president of this country, and I want to I bought into his vision, and I've decided to work with him and align my ideology with his ideology, and I believe that we can.
Did you support him in?
I never supported him.
So why will you want him to support you in Riverside County?
I don't mind whether he does not support me, but I say I believe in him as the leader of this country, and I will do everything possible because I want for Ambassador Weah presidency to succeed.
But you can be as independent as you are and stay support him.
And I will still support him.
And support legislation that he sent to the national legislature.
So what wrong is it if I am a member of the CDC and I decide to support him?
The wrong here is you will be shadowed or covered by the CDC.
I'm a political realist.
In the county.
I'm a political realist.
That has not been real.
What's not real about that?
Fake.
No, it can never be fake.
When the CDC was struggling, and looking for permanence, you did not support the CDC.
That's what makes CDC to be powerful then.
Oh.
Because with all my support, they won.
So now you want to win? You want to retain your seat?
No, not by retaining my seat. Plus CDC, minus CDC, Dallas Black can still win.
So minus CDC, my take is minus CDC then.
So what is wrong if I'm a part of CDC? I just want to strengthen the lobbying power of the CDC in the Liberian Senate.
But you can do that without joining the party.
I can do that better when I'm part of the CDC.
So you want to agree with the vice president who said to maintain your job, you got to stay and join the party, or you got to join the party?
I was saying here in the place I never joined the United Party because I never believe in their vision.
So how
I never believe in their vision.
So do you
I believe in the vision of George Weah.
Do you believe in the vision of the CDC?
I believe in the vision of George Weah as president of this country. And as leader of the CDC, I am going to be a part of that makeup so as to carry the vision forward.
That could be just the wrong ticket.
That's the right thing.
That could be just the wrong ticket.
It will never be wrong.
The ticket of the coalition?
It is the right ticket.
The formula of the CDC in Moserado is not the same in Nimba.
I agree with you.
It's not the same
I
in
agree with you
Grand
100%. That's true.
That would not be the same in
I don't mind.
County.
I don't mind.
So what can
and
you...
Then watch out something, Smith.
Go ahead.
Watch out. My last name is not Senator.
Your last name is Goy.
Goy. And that's what I will be until I die.
You will be Goy.
I will be Goy until I die. This is an opportunity to serve. I came on this platform to serve the people of Riverside County.
And you serve well.
Oh man.
You serve very well.
And if I serve very well, the Riverside people will make the determination come 2020 when I put my heart in the race.
Have you calculated the performance of CDC in Riverside? As compared to other political parties?
I've done everything.
You may risk your job by joining the CDC and contest in Riverside County against the Liberty Party.
And even, winning or not winning, life will still go on.
Wait, that's the fight.
Life will still go on.
That's the fight.
Yeah. But I believe that I will win.
You will win.
I will.
You will win as an independent.
I will win as a member of the Congress for Democratic Change.
Will the CDC accept you, by the way?
CDC has accepted Dallas Goy as a member of the party. I have concluded all of the discussion in the county with the party executives. And this is what gave me the boldness to come on this platform to speak the way I do.
Let's wait and see.
No problem.
Let me move you on to another talking point.
Let's keep moving.
While you were somewhere around in out of the county, there's this controversy that have developed from your county.
Yeah.
Are you aware that some of your county development fund went to campaign purpose somewhere to one of the political parties?
I came back in this country before I heard that that information, but those are just trash. Trash.
Are you not in the know of that?
Never.
How?
Because the county leadership, the legislative caucus never sanction any money that goes to any campaign.
So how come a lieutenant of the county will made known to the public that some money left the county development fund? Is that some US 18,000 was used to campaign purpose for the Unity Party?
Then the person who said it, let the person come and give account of that. But one thing, Smith, for which I've decided to come on this platform to explain to the people of Riverside and Liberia, is to let you know that at no time, under my watch, under my pen as the Secretary General of the Riverside County Legislative Caucus, did we sanction, I hope I'm clear, at no time did we ever sanction anything that has to do with campaign purposes for any of the party. It is not possible. It could not be possible for one simple reason. It could not be possible.
What's the reason?
Because the chairman of the caucus was a sedition. You get me clear? So how possible it is that he will pin his signature to a resolution that is calling on us to support a party or support a candidate that is against his party?
Are you concerned as a lawmaker to further investigate this claim? Because it is not possible for the individual making this allegation to just take this from the blue sky and say, we took 18,000 United States dollars to campaign.
He is a signatory to the account of Riverside County.
So now he's telling you that.
But then what he's saying, that he will have to come and give the fact. And the only thing that can, make this fact to be clear, let me tell you, Smith.
This gentleman was never tortured.
I'm coming to that.
No one harassed him.
Yes.
He was never taken to police. So,
Smith,
so what is the reason of his making such an allegation then?
I mean, he knows what he's saying, but let me tell you one thing. Why then he did not say this? Why then he did not make the report? Because I have the communication from the Riverside Legislative Caucus dated January 10 to this very superintendent, because in December, prior to the inauguration of President Weah, he made a declaration in the county that if the president nominates a new superintendent of Riverside County, I will no longer come back to serve. I do not want to serve again as superintendent of the county.
Okay.
And the people of Riverside County took him to court. And this gentleman that is saying they absconded, he fled the country. This gentleman that is making this allegation today, if he were having a clear intention, then why he did not stand to make a report to the caucus and the people of Riverside County before leaving the country? If this man had good intention.
Okay.
All right. Then after we heard this or complaint, the Riverside citizen, the civil society of Riverside County took him to court, and he ran away from Riverside County. He came to Moravia, and at the same time, he never called on any member of the legislative caucus, and he fled this country. Again, when he fled, the county legislative caucus is on record on January 10, writing this very superintendent, since you have made this pronouncement that you no longer want to be superintendent of the county, we want you to give us a clear report of all of the assets of the county. One, give us a report of our locally generated revenue under your watch for 3 years, which is we call the planning committee's fund, which is a toll that is generated in the county, which we have never received a report from him, and I have all of these documents on file right now as I speak to you, and I can give you a copy so that you can see. Then thirdly, in that communication, we want a report of the utilization of the county social and development fund under your watch, because they are signatory to the account. We are not. The only thing we do here is we go to the county resolution, and based on the resolution, the superintendent and the project management committee, excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead. About a sip of water will do for you.
The project management committee will, they are signatory to the account. So these are the people who have the checkbook. They have the account of Riverside, and no lawmaker is signatory to the account of Riverside County. So if he's making this allegation, then he knows from when he's speaking. But what I'm telling you is by law that no member of the Riverside County legislative caucus ever sanction any money. Let me give my last point on this issue.
He's not accusing you of sanctioning, the disbursement of the money to the campaign, but he said 18,000 United States dollars went to the Unity Party campaign from your development.
If this man is speaking from a clear point of view and it does not have any or political undertone, then why is it on January 10 when we asked him to make the report, why he did not make a written report to the people of Riverside before leaving the country?
So why
must he go to America now? Do we be talking right back in Liberia? Why must he, if he have a clear conscience, let him come back to his country and submit himself to audit? Let him come back. So if he comes to the country and submit himself to audit, we will be there. So let the Liberian people prove it. Let him come and submit himself to audit.
Another side of the allegation is another 15,000 US bucks was spent on a judge.
That was sanctioned by the county that I have record about.
Why you spend 15,000 on a judge?
Because we had to save our life.
So you agree on?
We agree. Yes.
You
sanctioned by the yes.
The caucus.
The caucus agreed.
To
definitely
spend 15,000
very true, yes,
of the county money,
definitely true,
on a judge,
definitely true,
and you deny 18,000
definitely
on
true.
The campaign,
definitely
so
true.
How did you arrive at this 15,000?
Because we needed to save a life, and that is an eminent citizen of the county, and his life was in danger, and the county had to intervene. And we needed to do that to save her life. And I am on record because it was sanctioned by the entire leadership of the caucus, because it was in the best interest of the people of Riverside County to save that life.
You took 18,000 of the county caucus money.
$15,000 for the judge. That's all I know about. So the 18,000, the person who said it must come and justify it.
So development fund to save a life.
I do not have any regret for taking that decision. I must tell you that. I do not have one regret.
Okay.
Even if it was you and we needed to save your life, I will take that same decision for you too.
And you did save the life.
Definitely. And we are very proud of that. I can tell you.
How do you go about explaining this to the citizen that the money intended to build you a Palawa hut or to
the Palawa hut in the loss of a citizen? The Palawa hut does not have life. This man has life. His loss to Riverside County.
You know how many citizens you've lost because of poor health care, bad road that development fund could save?
You are going outside of the discussion.
No, I'm not going outside of the discussion.
The issue about here, that money was not that money that was expended on him came from the administrative cost.
Now you're providing clarity.
But this is the issue. This is the issue. This is the issue. We needed to save a life, and you know that the administrative cost is at the discretion of the administrator of that funding, and we sanctioned that because we had to save a life. And I'm telling you that I do not have one regret for that decision that I took, because that life is valuable and precious to the people of Riverside County because he's an eminent citizen, and we needed him to be alive then to see him there.
Will you all only do that for the because the individual involved was eminent citizen? Could you do that for a child who needed maybe some health situation, or the hospital that is out there out of drugs in Riverside County?
Toby, yeah. The senators, the representatives, the caucus of Riverside County are humanitarian. They are mothers, they are fathers, and they are brothers, they are sisters. Any issue that involve a life and death situation that involve the people of Riverside, we are prepared to take any political risk to save a life. And we will always take that decision. If we have to save the life of any of our citizens, we will take that decision.
So my question is, are you aware that you lost some of your sons and daughters of the counties because of bad health, bad road?
I'm not aware, except you tell me.
So the road to Riverside?
The road to Riverside cannot be built by $15,000.
But they can contribute.
It cannot do anything.
It can rehabilitate.
Yes, it
can provide drugs in a clinic in Riverside that can save a child permanent citizen in Riverside County.
100,000 was given for clinic and drug issues. So and that money was given. It was provided. So what was in the county resolution was provided to health services. Some were provided for maternity wall, close to $80,000 were provided for maternity or waiting room. They were provided to them in that same resolution. And it was provided for healthcare services. It was provided, and it was expended by the county authorities.
Are you securing safe drinking water for your people?
We are working on that very seriously.
If you are spending $15,000 on a life, can that go to safe drinking water?
Oh, surely.
Provide chlorine.
Surely.
And of course,
we are doing everything on that of that nature, Smith. I can tell you, because our money is not plenty like other counties are. So the little that we have, we contribute to priority projects. And some of the priority projects, a significant portion of our money goes
to save a life.
It goes to life-saving or projects in the county. Like we in the Nizwin area, the RTR, in the Mower area, somewhere they call or Vladia Town, we provided maternity or waiting room for mothers. And we provided close to $50,000 for a clinic in Krekwe, somewhere that a car road does not really have a transport cement by Kino over the sea. And we did that. So we took some definite tough decision in the interest of the people of Riverside. But this is a life and death situation that people may want to politicize. Trust me, I will have any regret, even if it is their father that was involved in this process, and you come crying to us, and we have no other means of helping you. And if we have $5 in our coffer to save your life, we will take that decision for the life of any citizen of Riverside County.
Could the caucus members individually just contribute that? You're making some good money. Why could you go into your personal account to get that money out?
If it were available, it would have been done. Maybe you were not available at the time.
Playing with the county development.
It was not playing with it. It was taking decision on the county development, not playing with it.
Did you meet? Did you consult the citizens that you were taking the money?
When they voted for me, they transferred the power to me.
So you've been usurping the power. What a way to go. Let me give you some very good public introduction right here. Senator Dallas Go, and I'm sure we've adjusted a lot. Timothy Paulus is from Riverside County. He's trying to get to us. A very good time right here. The conversation is on on this radio. So let me get to Timothy. You've been trying to call me all day. How are you?
Yeah, so how you doing?
Yeah, good, Paulus.
Good afternoon, my honorable Senator Gwen.
Yes, Timothy, how are you? Long time.
Long time.
Long time, long time.
Yeah, sir, I just wanted to comment on the issue of the 18,000. I think this Senator Gwen and other senators need to talk to the government to institute an audit of the past administration.
So
that particular superintendent needs to account for his time, his tenure to that place. When people need it, we initiated this thing, and other citizens initiated a project in Rivers to do a mini stadium to that place, and he was behaving as if there's no money, the country never even supported that project. Also now we have over 150 beds of cement internal. We cannot even transport it because we can't pay the transportation cost for that project to continue, and then he cannot account for 18,000, and he said, somebody took the money to run campaign. I don't believe, nobody will believe that. Nobody will believe that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paulus, your son of Riverside County, for making your point here. 07777009950880939395. Senator Dallas Gued is spending some time with me on this radio. Let me go back to this line. Our viewers on social media, thanks for keeping the conversation going. Let me take another one. Yes, how are you, madam? How are you?
Yeah. Smedo.
Yeah,
I am not from Riverside.
A D-Warrior?
Just a D-War.
Okay, please go ahead.
I am not from Riverside. But I think I'm part and parcel of Liberia, and they are my brothers and sisters there.
Yeah.
They gave this money for county development fund.
Yeah.
It was not purpose for illness. They were putting our hands in our pocket to contribute towards this so that I was dying or I was sick. But they said county development fund. They didn't say for charity. No. So I'm trying to tell your studio guest, let me try and face it different way.
All right. Thank you, D-Wall, for joining the conversation. We are live here on OKFM 99.5. Let's go back to the line. More of your calls coming in. Another one is here. How are you?
Yes, man.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Senator, my name is Focus. I call you from Liberia.
Please go ahead, Focus.
Yes, man. Let me first say I'm clearly convinced about the articulation of Senator Graham, and even his practical action in the Liberia Senate. He's one of the persons who came to the Senate not only just to make money, but he came with the desire to serve the people with consciousness and clearness. I mean, this has over the year been clearly proven in Riverside and even beyond Riverside. Now, Senator has just, just outlined a few issues, evidence of some of the students that he's supposed to have University and even University of Liberia. But just a few issues I wanted to speak to.
Quickly, time is running out.
Yeah, one of the reasons why Senator sometimes don't return to Capitol building, number one, the expectation is not being managed by the people. Number two, the simulation of information about their working is so cardinal. And sometimes the people down there, they don't get the information on time. And lastly, poor human relationship with your people. It becomes a very, very serious key issue they need to work on. I appreciate you, Senator Boy. I know your passion, I know your ability, and I believe you come. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you ever so much for joining the conversation here on OKFM. The news ahead of us is at 6:15. Let's see who's joining us right here. Hello.
Yes, my name is Walter Esfadro. One is supporter of Mr. Gwe.
Oh, he got supporter again? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I support him because we start the Riverside. We want a senator who is a Jew and also help our students in the Riverside. So we are saying talking to some of police to see how better join to support him. So Mr. Gwe want to say thank you very much. My name is Walter Esfadro. Want your supporter to see how better you can win 2023.
Thank you very much for joining the conversation right here. 07777009508880939395. The lines are bustling. Let me go back to this one. Desk caller. How are you?
Good evening, Smith, and good evening to the political viewers.
I'm alive.
My name is Orlando Sammy, and I'm calling from Morocco.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sammy.
you need no rocket scientist to know that the statement of the superintendent for Rosa was fake. How will you have the common chair as a seditious? Then you say some of the money that were mismanaged from Brewer's 18,000 was used for Bobaka campaign. Then why you did not get account of the all over radio? If you can say 18,000 is used for Bobaka, say 5,000 is used for SYZ, 2,000 is used for SYZ. I think it was something that we want to bring the Concord and other administration to public reality.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I want to say where they should start to investigate and bring it to the public so that we can know how that money was used.
All right, thank you. Thank you ever so much, Mr. Samin, for joining the conversation. We will slip in 5, let's say 6 more calls, then we'll call it a day. Close up for the news at 6:15. Let's call it right here. How are you?
Smith, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. I'm okay. And good evening to the Senator. Senator, how you doing?
I'm good, thank God.
Well, Smith, this is Charles R. Kennedy.
Please come on, Charles.
Yeah, thank you. I listened to the Senator and I tried to do a critical reflection of the campaign period when the Senator, you were part of those senators that, pledged a cut of the salary 1,000 to support the vice president financially. So I want for the senator to clearly tell us, let me be honest and say to us, says in fact that the funds that were used, we have facilitated that this individual went and seek medical attention, so that we ourselves can do a follow up. Because for me, in my mind, I feel that the money was not used for an internal purpose. And to conclude on this note, we as a sedition, we welcome everybody. CDC is a party that belongs to every Liberian, but when you come in there, you should come there with clear heart.
Okay, thank you, a warning. And of course, the way to go on that one, we still got some more time here, so let's stay around the lines and take another one. Hello? Yes, how are you?
Hello, Smith.
Yes, I'm getting you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Ishmael Kamara. I'm calling from Logan Resto.
Please go ahead, Ishmael.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Senator Dallas Square. Thank you for your splendid explanation. You really mesmerized me when you said you can't lie. It almost like saying 30 or prostitute 30 or better is a virgin. Okay, my concern has to do with the ECOWAS. my concern has to do with the ECOWAS parliament. Yeah. You both keep up with resolution by saying that you ECOWAS, the 16 ECOWAS nation has to use one currency. For taking Liberia as a case study, amidst of the high inflation rate in our country, yeah, considering the fact that Guinea, Sierra Leone, Africa, etc., having a low inflation rate, how can we, our currency, using the same currency that we, it not depreciate our currency here as compared to other African nations?
Okay, thank you. I'm sure he's taking note. He will respond. Let's close in the last 4 down. Time is once again chasing the team in here. So let me return to the line. Let's call on you. Are with us. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Toby.
Yes, good evening to you.
Yeah, this is Dr. Skin. I'm calling from the Bush Island.
Thanks for joining the conversation.
I want to commend the senator. He spoke very well. But one thing we need to know in this country, you see the people that we like, Mr. Toby, they are not in the interest of the Liberian people. I'm wearing this. I can feel so downhearted something when I listen to these senators and the representatives. Because when you vote for these people, when they go there, they don't have those kinds of people at all. I'm not discussing in particular, but we're discussing the love for your district or for your country. They doesn't have love for the people at all. Even the senator he was talking, he said he won as an independent, and he went on the coalition party. So why he didn't go back as an independent? Because he knew that he wouldn't win again.
All right, thank you. 3 more to go. 0777-7009-950880939395. Next caller, you joining in. Thanks for joining the conversation. What is the name, sir?
Yeah, good evening, Toby. I may say good evening to the senators and the Dallas Boy. My name is Abu Bakar Kone, and I'm calling from the Bouvier Islands.
Go ahead, Abu Bakar.
Let me commend Dr. Boyle for his candid and deliberation. You know, he was one senator that I admire so much. We sometimes, would not agree all of the time, but he's somebody that always stand for the truth. And one senator, when you say this, you always say, well, hey, so let's say everything is in, and we welcome you in the city. In the city, our doors are open to everybody. We put people with fast ability to come and settle the standard of the state for. So the men that are coming out is somehow.
Thank you ever so much. I'm sure there's one coming in. Do I have you ready? Hello?
Hello, Smith. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good.
This is my Timothy Gatlin. It's on the riverside calling you from Tianjin University, China.
Oh, you're calling from China? Calling from China. Go ahead.
How are you?
Yeah. Thank you to Senator West, the president in the studio. And honestly, I must be grateful to him. He was one of those through whom I've been able to come to China for my schooling purpose here. Basically, to the issues, as it relates to the speculation being disseminated with the allegation against our senator, as it relates to 18,000 being taken away from our country's development fund, which I believe was can also our resolution should this information be true. The solution here is to ensure that the civil servant in question, the former superintendent, can come over. The senator should ensure, or the Congress should ensure, that this guy come over to get the real true scenario as it relates to this speculation allegation against them. They should let both the Liberian embassy here and the one in the United States, if they can refuse him to come, we need him to come to our country. Because he's still obligated to the country. He has not even made a full declaration as it relates to final report before he left our country. We need this money. The country is really need this money. We need of this money for development purpose.
All right. Thank you from China. Okay, I will just make way now for the last one. Let's close up with this line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing good, and how are you? Please go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, this is Terry Namo, and I call you from my DLW residence.
Please go ahead, Namo.
I want to say thank you for the taking the time to invite the honorable senator to the studio.
Yeah.
I'm from Riverside County, and I follow the issue that had to do with the current situation at Riverside County. And the senator, I listened to him very well, and I listened to his presentation. And I think the senator is making a lot of errors, more especially when it comes on the issue that I see 27 years of the Riverside County. I mean that is a daydream.
Okay. That is a daydream. And so you will pick up from there, Senator Goer, so that you can respond in 2 minutes, and so that we let it go. But I'm sure I got one call coming in. Let me do justice to this overseas number, and please just keep the camera where it is, and the Senator will listen from you. How are you? Hello? Oh, okay, sorry, I'm sure you dropped the line. Okay, please go ahead, Senator. You can respond.
Yeah, let me just start from that last caller.
Yeah.
He's one of those that was sponsoring our AMEs that absconded because he was not able to even go through the study. He's one of them who wasted my money. He was one of my scholarship beneficiaries at AME. I know it, Terry Nambo.
Oh, okay.
He's from my village. He's from my home, and we are cousins. But he could not even. He's one of those that ran away because he could not even. So I mean, he's speaking from utopia. But he let him come back to reality. When he come back to reality, he will know who the true real dialogue is. So I mean, let me leave that to history to judge. Let me just say something quickly about the West Africa currency that I was talking about. Somebody brought up.
Let's be very fast.
Yes, I'll do very brief.
So we go.
Because what I want to say is that the issue about inflation will have to be resolved by every country before acceding to the monetary union. So that is an issue. That is one of the issues of convergence. that have to be met by every ECOWAS country before acceding. So you are not just going to go to ECOWAS, they accept you the same day. You will have to resolve your own internal issues regarding the economy and your monetary issues. All right. But I'm hearing people talking about joining CDC. But joining CDC is not a crime. It's a choice. And everybody have to make a choice. And I've made my choice. You make yours, I've made mine. If you are not satisfied with yours, I'm satisfied with mine. So everybody must leave me alone. Let me be Dallas Goyer. And Dallas Goyer have decided to. I stayed 6 years in the Liberia. I never joined the Unitarian because I never believe in them. I never believe in Madam Sally one day up to this day. I believe in George Weah as president of this country. I've decided to support him. And that I'm going to do with my heart, with my hands, with my feet, and every soul in my body because I'm a patriot. I believe in this country. That I believe that George Weah is the right man for the right job at this time. The Liberian people believe in him. We're giving our mandate, and we got to support him. We got to rally around him to ensure that this man succeed. His failure is the failure of every Liberian. So we have to be patriotic and loyal to this country and do whatsoever we have to do to ensure that this country succeeds. Because under that mantle, that's the only way you will thrive, I will thrive, and our living standard is going to improve. But let me just say one thing. I did not say one thing about my achievement. Dallas Goyer is building a bridge that costs $249,000 United States dollars, which is a quarter of $1 million.
I will keep that in your safe for another day.
All right.
The next time we invite you
will hear more. I will invite you to the dedication of this bridge.
The next time you're here with me, we'll talk more about it.
Thank you so much.
Let me say thank you very much, Senator Dallas Goyer, for your time spent with us on this conversation today. It's been a really rewarding time here together. I'm very sure you enjoyed your time and you stay with us on this one here. And that's the goal. What a way to wrap up another day. Another presentation is just about 30 minutes. Time to run out of the show. Let me say thanks to all of you for viewing and keeping us on your radio. And thanks to Theodore. Thanks to the president of the Civil Service Union, he says, for spending some time with us in Moba Kaland. And thanks to Senator Dallas Goyer, he said, I speak truth to power. He's on his way to the Coalition for Democratic Change. He said he believes in the ideology of President George Weah. Saving the job. Save me out of the headache. My name is Smith Toby and I'm out.